Well, it is the beginning of the end for the 2024 IBL season, with the postseason now in full swing. It's one of the most exciting times of the year across the board for all the teams across the league. And we're excited to bring you today's matchup for the London Majors taking on the Hamilton Cardinals. I'm your host, Justin Koehler, with MajorsTV here in beautiful London, Ontario, Canada, for the first game of this series. Happy to have you here with us, whether you're on a regular broadcast with MajorsTV or tuning into us from Hamilton Cable 14 as well. And tonight I have the absolute pleasure of being joined by Noah Smith and Dylan Baker. Gentlemen, should be a spectacular matchup between these two teams to kick off the series.
Thank you, Justin, and pleasure to have you alongside us here for this extended BP8 Fitness pregame show here on MajorsTV, and as you mentioned, our friends in Hamilton watching on Cable 14. The playoffs underway tonight for the London Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals. Dylan, this is an exciting time of year for the IBL. Postseason baseball. Who doesn't love it?
Exactly. Temperatures started to drop just a little bit, but we've got a beautiful night for baseball at the Forks of the Thames between two teams that may be a little bit separated in the standings, but in the games played between the two sides this year, it was oh so close for London and Hamilton. The Majors eking out the season series win. We'll talk lots about that as we go along here in the pregame show and throughout the broadcast, but really, you couldn't ask for a better night for baseball here at Labatt Park.
Now, Justin, the IBL playoffs underway last night with a pair of games. This isn't the first night of IBL playoff baseball. We had the pleasure of watching two pretty good games last night in Welland and in Barrie.
It's been some incredible action to get the postseason started. A whole lot of fun to watch, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But, gentlemen, for those at home who maybe don't know the exact format of how the IBL postseason works, can you briefly explain just what it'll look like now and going forward through the playoffs?
Absolutely, Justin. So the IBL this year has 9 teams. Over the past number of years, they've had 8. So everybody's made the playoffs, and they've gone with a 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 format. Well, that format stays this year. No play-in game, nothing special. The 9th place team doesn't make it, so that leaves the Brantford Red Sox on the outside looking in. And there is still the 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 in the IBL. The first round of the IBL playoffs is a best-of-5 series. So this series between London and Hamilton will be a best-of-5, with games 1, 2, and 3 going tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Games 4 and 5, if necessary, Tuesday and Wednesday night. Round 2 of the IBL playoffs, also a best-of-5 series per the Intercounty Baseball League's website. And then the IBL finals will be a best-of-7 as the IBL continues to play deeper and deeper into the fall for the postseason baseball.
And so now that we know kind of how it works as a whole, let's talk about some of the games that you mentioned to already kick off the postseason, because there's already been 2 exciting games, but 2 very different games, and that all got started with the Barrie Baycats taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, Justin, the first game of the IBL playoffs last night in Barrie saw the Baycats hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it was all Baycats from the beginning of this ball game, Dylan. Here's Brandon Hernandez clearing the bases with a double in the bottom of the 3rd inning. This put the Baycats up by a score of 8-0 after scoring 5 in the bottom of the 2nd. They did not look back after this. The bats were alive for the Baycats on a Thursday night.
The bats were absolutely alive for the Barrie Baycats. They really took it to Angel Castro early on in that ball game. I was talking to Majors manager Rup Chanat earlier. He said the Baycats really torched Castro. The Majors often struggle against Angel Castro, but there you see Nolan Macabrota with what was the first home run of the IBL postseason, sending that one the opposite field out to left center at Vintage Throne Stadium. Not an easy task. That's a pretty big ballpark out in Barrie, but the Baycats, they were soaring early on.
Yeah, they certainly were. They come away with the big victory. What I'm interested to see in this series, Dylan, is how the Toronto Maple Leafs respond. In the top of the 9th inning, the Maple Leafs were able to get some runs back here, and I'm interested to see if that momentum carries for them into the next game of this series.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are never an easy foe. Everybody across the Intercounty Baseball League knows that, and you're kidding yourself if you think the Barrie Baycats don't know that. Plus, they've got the Christie Pitts element. Playing at Christie Pitts is not easy. It's not easy whether it's in the regular season or the playoffs. It's not easy on a Wednesday night. It's not easy on a Sunday afternoon. Christie Pitts is a tough park to play in. The Baycats are fully aware of that. So maybe the Maple Leafs can use some of that momentum, because despite the fact that they're a 7 seed, you never go into a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs thinking, we've got a really good shot at winning this. You always know they're going to be putting up a very tough fight, no matter the opponent, no matter the park, no matter regular season or playoffs.
14-8, the final score in Game 1 of that series. Justin, they have the night off. Game 2 goes tomorrow night in Toronto.
And so that one was definitely a bit of a slugfest, to say the least, across the board from the two teams. But the other game that happened last night was the complete opposite, a lot more of a conservative matchup, but still incredibly exciting, to say the least, gentlemen.
Welland and Kitchener, 1 versus 8. Nobody expected this series to be particularly close with how the Jackfish fared this season, especially in Game 1, where the Jackfish were on home soil, because in the regular season, Welland practically undefeated at Welland Stadium. But the Kitchener Panthers, they were on it from the jump. The Jackfish got on the scoreboard first. You see it there in the bottom of the 4th inning, which was kind of the expectation. But Kitchener's pitching looked locked in from the very start. Ryan Burnside came up clutch off of Ben Abram in the top of the 6th inning to give the Kitchener Panthers the lead. They held on to that for a couple of innings. Welland made it close. All around, a really exciting game to watch and a really good pitching performance by both teams, but in particular by the Kitchener Panthers against a Welland offense that is not an easy foe.
Dylan, it was one of those games you kind of had the feeling. You look at the pitching matchup, this has a chance to be a pitcher's duel. But with the offense that Welland has, you just never know if that is going to be the case, especially with the number 8 seed. And I looked back a little bit in some of the IBL history, and the website only goes back to 2018. I didn't look further than that, but first win by an 8 seed in a playoff round in a long time.
Absolutely. The 8 seeds in the IBL playoffs have certainly had their fair share of trouble over the last number of years. There you see Raul Gonzalez single in the top of the 10th inning off of Davey Mendez to give the Kitchener Panthers the lead. And then in the bottom of the 10th, they're able to put it away with the line out there for Robert Mullen. Kitchener takes a big win. I mean, Welland will not be too alarmed by that defeat because they know how good they are, and the Kitchener Panthers know how good the Welland Jackfish are, but certainly a big momentum booster for Kitchener in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-2 final for the Panthers in Game 1 of that series. They are back in action tonight. Game 2 at Jack Couch Stadium in Kitchener is also just moments away.
So now we've gone over some of the games that have happened. It's time to look a bit more to the present. You already mentioned that the Kitchener Panthers and the Welland Jackfish will be playing tonight, but they're not the only ones. Along with the London Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals, Guelph is also set to take on Chatham-Kent.
Yeah, that game goes tonight, Game 1 of that series. Guelph, as we know, was here in London on Wednesday night, so they get a night off before taking on the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, who, Dylan, they've had some time off between their last game and this one. You need to look at our playoff tree there, updated with the scores in the games from last night. Guelph and Chatham-Kent is in the bottom right. They get underway tonight at Hastings Stadium. And then the bottom left, London and Hamilton. That's the game that we're going to talk about momentarily. It gets underway tonight at Labatt Park as well.
That Guelph versus Chatham-Kent series, Noah, I think will be a really fascinating one. You mentioned Chatham-Kent's had lots of time off. They were the lucky ones. They got to finish their regular season on time. They didn't have too many rainouts throughout the regular season, so they get going tonight against the Guelph Royals. It's a battle of two really polar opposite teams. Guelph has a pretty good offense, but the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers can really hit, especially at Fergie Jenkins Field in Chatham, one of the smaller ballparks in the IBL. I think it's a lot closer of a series than people might expect if you just take one look at the records.
A lot of Chatham-Kent fans, they are going to be making the trip to Guelph to see the team's first ever playoff game, and then they can't wait for the team to get to the Ferg for Game 2 of that series. Our BP8 Fitness pregame show continues this extended playoff version. After this, you're watching the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs here on MajorsTV and Cable 14 in Hamilton.
Ontario, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Now through Labor Day, book your guided tour and walk the same field as Ty Cobb, Fergie Jenkins, Honus Wagner, and some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts from over the years inside the original 1940 clubhouse. Experience baseball history in London, Ontario. Book your guided tour at labattparktours.com.
Welcome back to the BP8 Fitness pregame show. I'm Justin Koehler, joined by Noah Smith and Dylan Baker. Gentlemen, we had the chance to talk about the games that have happened and the ones that are going to happen, but let's cut to the meat and potatoes, talk about what we're all here for, and that is today's matchup between the London Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals. Should be a great game, gentlemen.
Absolutely, Justin. I teased it off the top of the show. These two teams super close in the regular season. The Majors eking out the season series 3-2, but every game was separated really by 2 or 3 runs at most, I believe, Noah. It was super tight every single time that these two teams faced off. It is going to be a hotly contested series.
This series is going to be one to watch for, and we'll let Justin go here. Justin, thank you for joining us here for the BP8 Fitness pregame show, this extended version. And Dylan, I actually want to get right into one of our interviews. You had a chance to talk with Rup Chanat before the game today, and about kind of his playoff expectations and how the season went. I always find these interesting before we go into our talking points to see exactly what goes on in the mind of Rup Chanat. So this is Dylan Baker's Rup Report here prior to today's game.
Alongside Majors manager Rup Chanat for the first game of round 1 in our Rup's Report today. Rup, thanks for doing this. I want your thoughts on the regular season as a whole. You guys overcame a lot to finish in 3rd place. Thoughts on the regular season performance from your group?
You're bang on. We overcame tremendous obstacles. Player issues, whether it's guys, got hurt, personal stuff. And, the guys battled. Everyone stepped up. We were using some lineups some nights, catchers in left field, backup guys in odd spots. But if you look at the standings, we're 1 game out of 2nd place with that lineup. I'm so proud of the team as a whole. Everyone stepped up. Everyone did their job. So that's the mindset we're going to carry, throughout, next man up and let's grind away.
An impressive performance throughout the season. And speaking of impressive performances, Wednesday night, you guys had to grind. You had to fight against a very good Guelph team. You win that game in extra innings. What does a win like that with so much emotion do for you heading into the playoffs?
Our mindset going into that game was play right and at least take care of business. That means at least finish 3rd, not give up a lot of runs and keep the differential. And in best case, you want to win. You want to win going in with momentum. Get to extra innings and the boys, come across. Big win. Everyone contributed. It gives you a high going in. You don't want to go in on a lull. Everyone says, it doesn't matter. It always matters, So we're going in there with a win and, boys feel good going into this playoff.
Rup, you're heading into round 1 of the IBL playoffs right now. You're facing a Hamilton team you've seen a lot. You've played some close games against this group. How do you beat them, and what's the mindset going into this series?
You know what? Hamilton's a great team. I think they've got one of the best pitching staff as a whole in the league. It's going to be a grind. We're going to have to – I talk about mistakes. The team that makes the least mistakes and the team that capitalize on those mistakes are going to win. I'm not talking about errors, just mistakes. So we got to play mistake-free baseball and, keep doing what we're doing, getting runners scoring position, hit. We got to get timely hits, and our pitching's been good all year, so continue good pitching. I'm hoping our defense steps it up a notch here in the playoffs.
Rup, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to the BP8 Fitness pregame show here. The Intercounty Baseball League playoffs in full swing. Noah Smith, Dylan Baker here in the Game Day London broadcast booth. And Dylan, you got a chance to talk to Rup prior to today's game. What do you take away from everything that Rup says? The adversity, the challenges that they faced so far this season.
Rup Chanat does a fantastic job of shielding his group from a lot of outside attention. For a lot of people who may have been watching this team this year, they may have been unaware, blissfully unaware, of all the challenges the Majors face with injuries and such throughout the year. But there were a lot of changes that had to be made to this team. A lot of lineups, like Rup Chanat was mentioning, he alluded to catchers playing in left field, guys playing in different spots they've never seen before, lots of junior player usage. The Majors have been through a lot to get to this point, and they had a very, very strong year this year, finishing, like he mentions, a win away from 2nd place in the Intercounty Baseball League standings. One of the other things he touched on that I really want to highlight is he feels Hamilton's got a really great pitching staff, and we'll talk to Eric Spearin a little bit later on. I had a chance to interview him prior to today's game as well. It's something that really sticks out and stands out to everybody across the Intercounty Baseball League. Hamilton has a stable of guys who can throw very, very hard out of the bullpen and cause some problems for any offense. So it'll be interesting to see how that pitching staff matches up against a pretty strong Majors offense.
Dylan, this is the 3-6 matchup. They're usually pretty close. I actually think this might be the tighter series of the 4 in the first round of the IBL playoffs. Chatham-Kent playing against Guelph. they actually played pretty well against the Royals so far this season. I think that this series is going to be the one that could be the tightest in the IBL's first round.
It felt like every time the Hamilton Cardinals were in town, or every time the London Majors went to Hamilton, it was a complete toss-up. You really had no idea what to expect. The Majors won the opening game of this season series against the Cardinals 8-5 here at Labatt Park, and that was the most spread-out game there was between these two teams, because Hamilton took the next one, the Majors took the one after that, Hamilton took game 4 in the season series, and the Majors took the final game in extra innings in Hamilton. So it's been really, really close all throughout. Another thing that's interesting about this season series, Hamilton is 2-1 at Labatt Park against the Majors this year. They won on Pack the Park Day, which is no small feat because the crowd the Majors get in for those Pack the Park events, and they also beat the Majors a little bit later on in the season when London was jockeying for positioning. So they fared well against London, not only in general, but in particular at Labatt Park. So I'm with you. I think this series is going to be very, very close.
Well, we're interested to see how this series plays out. Hamilton's certainly expecting, or hopefully, expecting that they could be the ones to get a first-round upset.
Absolutely. I mean, why not, right? They've got that why not us mentality. They know that they're a talented team. They've got a great offense that's matched up well against the Majors pitching this year, and we've already talked about that dangerous pitching staff.
Certainly, and you had a chance to talk with the Hamilton Cardinals owner prior to today's game just about that team and what he expects from the playoffs this season.
Alongside Eric Spearin, the owner of the Hamilton Cardinals. Eric, thank you so much for doing this. You have made a lot of changes to the Hamilton Cardinals organization and the ballpark since you've taken over. What are you most proud of in the work that you've done?
You know what? I think it's just overhauling the organization, the game day experience, the whole rebrand. We went from basically having the St. Louis Cardinals branding to being a little bit more modern, a little with doubling down with the black and the red, and then coming up with a new logo that I think is distinctive to Hamilton. So that's been, the big thing is overhauling the look and the feel, but then extending that out into our community and just letting people know that, the Hamilton Cardinals are here in Hamilton. It's, it's been a bit of a struggle to get, folks to just rediscover the team, but we're finally making some headway.
It's a sleek look, Eric. I got to tell you, I really love the logo. I love the uniforms, and I love the branding that you guys have done to really belong to Hamilton a little bit more. I want to ask you about this year's team because you guys have overcome a lot. I was talking to Rup earlier. He was saying the Majors have overcome a lot. You guys have overcome a lot as well. What are your thoughts on the group that you had this year and how they played?
Yeah, we're pretty excited to hit the ground running in the playoffs. We think our pitching depth is the best we've had in a number of years, so I think we're going to really lean on our pitching as we head into the playoffs.
What's the mindset here as you enter round one of the playoffs against a talented Majors group?
I think just take one game at a time. We don't have home field advantage, right? So if we can come here and pick up a win in game one, it's a good way to head back to Hamilton.
Eric, thanks so much. Good luck tonight.
Great talking with Eric Spearin, the owner of the Hamilton Cardinals there. Eric has made lots of positive changes to this team, and he really feels confident coming into this series that they've got a legit shot against a good Majors ball club.
Well, and why wouldn't you, Dylan? The Hamilton Cardinals have played well all season long, and I think this is one of the teams that few things go right for them that didn't so far this year. They get a couple of bounces here or there. They could have jumped up the standings a little bit.
Absolutely they could have, and I talked about the adversity there with Eric Spearin, and Hamilton has gone through a lot this year to get to this point, not to be taken lightly.
Well, Dylan, we are just moments away from the national anthem here at Labatt Park and moments away from first pitch here in Game 1 of the Intercounty Baseball League quarterfinals between the London Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals. We're going to send it to break here. This has been the BP8 Fitness pregame show, functional fitness training for everybody. Noah Smith, Dylan Baker from the Game Day London broadcast booth. You're watching London Majors Baseball here on MajorsTV and on Cable 14.
Has the potential to win another championship. all the boys have talked about it in the clubhouse, getting that three-peat, you know.
You guys can win. You guys can win.
We are back live here on MajorsTV and Cable 14 in Hamilton. It is game one here between the London Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals from beautiful Labatt Memorial Park in downtown London. Noah Smith and Dylan Baker, along with our MajorsTV crew, bringing you the action tonight. Dylan, should be a good one. It has shaped up to be a great night for baseball here in the Forest City.
You could not ask for a more picturesque day here as Victor Payano takes the hill for the Majors. The crowd here is excited. Everybody's ready to go. Lots of action in the Intercounty Baseball League tonight, but this game is going to be a fun one.
Let's check out our starting pitchers as you get a shot at Victor Payano on the mound for the London Majors. He will be throwing to start this game and this series for the Pinstripes.
I mean, who else would you rather have, on the mound for the London Majors to start this series? 5-4 record for Victor Payano. He appeared in a lot of games out of the bullpen in addition to his starts this year. A 2.95 earned run average, 12.09 strikeouts per nine, 2.41 walks per nine. On the other side, it's Takaki Iguchi. Iguchi's not going to strike out as many guys as Victor Payano does, but you see the record, 8-2, a 3.06 earned run average, 7.90 strikeouts per nine, and 3.66 walks per nine. Iguchi has also been a weapon in the bullpen and as a starter for the Hamilton Cardinals. Two talented arms and two of the best in the Intercounty Baseball League going tonight.
Our starting pitchers brought to you by Throw London, and a gorgeous night as the fans still making their way through the turnstiles here at Labatt Memorial Park. Friday night baseball to kick off this first round series between the Cardinals and the Majors. Dylan, we are excited to be here for you as this game is moments away from seeing our first pitch fly.
Yeah, Victor Payano taking the mound for London against this Hamilton Cardinals squad. Payano has worked against Hamilton earlier this season. He worked, I believe, in that extra innings game, Noah, if I'm not mistaken, for the London Majors. He's appeared in 18 games. That's nearly half of the Majors contest this year that they've had Victor Payano. His last outing against the Cardinals was at home, I should say, on August 11th. 2 innings, 2 runs, took the loss in that effort.
So we are just about ready to go here from Labatt Memorial Park on this Friday night, game one of this best-of-5 series between the Majors and the Cardinals. Fernando ready to step into that right-hand batter's box and get us underway. Payano grabs his sign and is ready to go. First pitch of the ball game at 7:39 here. Our crew chief and home plate umpire tonight is Rob Stevenson. Hayden Moore is over at third base, and Ben Flesher is the first base umpire. Payano ready here as he grabs his sign from DeOlio. Breaking ball misses upstairs.
Luis Bernardo, a guy who has had a lot of success against the Majors this season. He's been a tough out for London to get, and really across the board, batting .267 this year with 3 long balls, 26 runs batted in.
Swing and a miss, got a piece of that one into the glove of DeOlio, and the count moves to 1-2 here on the Cardinals' leadoff hitter. Fans clapping along early here for the Majors, trying to cheer on Payano. Lefty delivers, bottom of the zone, and misses in the dirt, 2-2.
Payano has worked 3 times this season against the Hamilton Cardinals. This is his first start against Hamilton of the campaign. He's worked in relief in every other outing, and in every outing he has racked up the strikeouts. He had 2 in a couple of innings the last time out, 5 prior to that, and 2 in 2 innings in his first outing of the year against Hamilton.
2-2 is inside. Bernardo has to back off the plate a little bit there to dodge that one, and the count moves to full.
Payano tried the breaking ball there to sit down Luis Bernardo and just could not get him to chase it. A lot of sweeping on that pitch, and Bernardo didn't bite.
Early full count pitch. Here's Payano delivering, and he'll miss low. Bernardo is aboard. It's a leadoff walk here in game one.
Luis Bernardo does so many things well for this Hamilton Cardinals squad. He is a great leader for this group. He is a talented bat, a great catcher, and right there, just a really good at-bat. He saw 6 pitches from Victor Payano and is able to work the walk to get on base for his Hamilton Cardinals.
On the Majors defense here, we'll get ready as the number 2 batter, or DeCastro, comes to the plate, looking to try and get the Cardinals off on the right foot here in game 1. Fastball to begin the at-bat is there for strike 1. The later start here tonight, we had an early start on Wednesday, 7:05, Dylan, and the sun was still in the eyes of the outfielders. They don't have to deal with that here tonight with the 7:39 first pitch, that fastball upstairs, and I think they're grateful for that.
Absolutely. We saw it right away in the last game. It impacted both of Guelph and London. Drew Lawrence lost the ball in the sun, and Ashton Patterson did as well for Guelph in the bottom half of the first. So I'm sure the center fielders in particular will be happy there's no sunlight shining in their eyes.
There was a bit of cloud cover in the air as well here. Runners going, up high for Deolio. The throw is on the money. And I think, judging by that look, Dylan, there was a missed sign there for the Cardinals.
That look from Luis Bernardo and him running in general told me that there was a hit and run on, because Luis Bernardo does a lot of things well in the baseball field, but he is not a guy who is looking to steal bases very often. And Eduardo Deolio had him by a country mile over at second base. It was not particularly close. And Bernardo, who is assisted in some of the coaching duties this year for Hamilton, gave a long look into the plate at Raquelbin DeCastro as if to say, you missed that one. I shouldn't have been thrown out here.
So DeCastro deals with a 2-1 count now. 1 out, and he swings through that fastball from Payano, 2-2.
DeCastro is 0 for 1 this season against Victor Payano. Had a strikeout in that one at-bat. The other plate appearance he had against Payano was a sacrifice bunt, that obviously being no longer on the table with Bernardo being retired.
Fouled back into the screen, and the count will stay at 2-2. A little bit warmer here on this Friday night than what we dealt with on Wednesday. That midweek contest dipped down into single digits by the time we left the ballpark after 12 innings of baseball. It's 23 degrees here in the Forest City. Payano ready and called strike 3 on the inside corner. DeCastro thought it missed in, and Payano's got his first strikeout of the evening.
DeCastro was jumping out of the way of that pitch. That's how far in he thought it was, but Victor Payano paints the inside corner with a very strong fastball there. He's got a lot of zip on that heater in the early going, and if he's able to get that kind of velocity, he'll have lots of success today.
So after the leadoff walk, who was retired on the caught stealing, it was a strikeout, and now 2 quick outs here for Payano. He'll have to face Tyler Duncan now. The always dangerous left-handed bat. They start him with a curveball that catches the inside edge for strike 1.
Tyler Duncan, the reigning IBL MVP, had another great year this year. Was the finalist in the the winner of the IBL Home Run Derby.
Ready is Payano. This one is ripped into left field. Past a diving Kurzminski at short, and the Cardinals have the first hit of the series off the bat of Duncan.
Tyler Duncan hit that baseball very, very hard. He always sees majors pitching well. Realistically, he sees all pitching well in the Intercounty Baseball League. He's just a very talented hitter, and Duncan laced that ball through the left side. Is what you got to do against Victor Payano, because you know he's going to bring it with his stuff. He's got great stuff. You got to stay with it, go with the pitch, and that's exactly what Duncan did there, hitting a hard line drive through the left side.
So base runner aboard with 2 outs now for Hamilton. And Banning swinging at the first pitch into left center field. Joseph calls off Lawrence, and he makes the catch to retire the Cardinals here in the top of the first inning. They get 1 hit, a couple of base runners, and strand 1. 0-0 as we head to the bottom half.
A little bit of miscommunication almost there in center field. Noah Lawrence was wandering over, thought he had a beat on it, and Starling Joseph calls him off regardless. The important thing is that the catch was made, and it was there by Starling Joseph to get out of the inning. Payano allows the walk, allows that fly ball that was weakly hit, gets a strikeout. Overall, pretty solid first for the Majors lefty.
Really good bounce back, and he has DeOlio to thank there as well for getting him an out on the base
Absolutely.
pass. Always good as a pitcher. Takaki Iguchi takes the hill here for the Cardinals as we get set for the bottom half of the first inning. Let's check out the London Majors lineup that will face him here on this Friday night, Game 1. Gibson Kurzminski is the shortstop. We saw him there just missing out on a diving catch, and he will lead things off for this London Majors lineup.
This Majors lineup is very similar to the one we saw on Wednesday night. It's very similar to the ones we've been seeing all year long. Kurzminski in the leadoff spot over at shortstop, which it's kind of become one of his primary positions over the past couple of weeks. Drew Lawrence is in center field batting second. Eduardo DeOlio, the hottest hitter for the Majors over the past month or so. In the 3 spot, Caden Cardoso draws back into the lineup in the cleanup spot. You got Joseph, Reichstein, Brownlee, Plaz, Osika in the number 9 spot. I mean, 1 through 9, the Majors can do damage. We know that it's going to be a tough task against Iguchi, who has fared pretty well against the Majors this season, and trying to do so again here.
He is tasked with facing that London Majors lineup and trying to help the Cardinals out on the road in Game 1 of this series. You often hear the word trying to take back home field advantage by winning Game 1 on the road. Kitchener was able to do that in Welland a night ago. Hamilton trying to do that here in Game 1 of this series.
Iguchi has pitched at Labatt Park before, only one time. That was back on June 16th on Pack the Park. Father's Day here at Labatt Memorial Park. Pitched 2 innings, got the win in that contest. Did allow 3 runs across those 2 frames, but Hamilton has kind of sheltered Iguchi from the Majors this season. That's the only time he's seen London. So, yes, they've seen him before, but kind of a weapon they are not all that familiar with because he has not pitched in any of the 4 other games that these 2 teams have contested this year.
Listen, when you play 42 games over the course of the season, you see a lot of pitching. These London Majors bats see a lot of pitching. Only seeing him once really doesn't give you a huge book on the guy on the hill. So almost like seeing a new guy out there. Each guy maybe a look or 2 against him so far this season.
The other thing is, for Takaki Iguchi, he provides a different look every single pitch because sometimes he'll come over the top, sometimes he'll go sidearm, sometimes he'll go submarine. He mixes it up so much that sometimes I think he can't keep up with it, but it's super tough for the hitters to adjust based on the different arm slots that Iguchi features.
Gibson Kurzminski will stroll to the plate, and we are ready to go here in the bottom of the first inning. Majors looking to try and get the offense started early here in Game 1 of this series. Iguchi grabs his sign from Bernardo and delivers to the plate. A first pitch that misses inside for ball 1.
Gibson Kurzminski has had 1 at-bat against Takaki Iguchi this year back on Father's Day, and he struck out. Has not seen very much of him. Neither have any of the Majors bats.
Takes a swing at that one and chops it foul. Count evens up at 1-1 here. You mentioned the ability for Iguchi to change up not just the arm slot, but his delivery as a whole. Really keeps the hitters on his toes. Keep an eye on it if you're watching at home tonight. As Iguchi delivers, and this one fouled off by Kurzminski. A look down the left field line by Daly, but it's out of play.
Long foul ball there off the bat of Gibson Kurzminski. Kurzminski found his stroke in the middle of the season, then kind of went through a bit of a slump near the end of the year, but solidified that leadoff spot. Hit .267 overall for the Majors across 38 games. 2 home runs, 22 runs batted in. A very good bat to have at the top of the order. We saw him come up clutch on Wednesday night with what was a game-tying double in the gap.
Curveball, swing and a miss. Strikeout to begin the night for Iguchi on the hill. And Kurzminski retired for the Majors for the first out.
That's a pretty curveball from Takaki Iguchi. One that's just loopy and slow, comes right in. You could tell Kurzminski really wanted that one, but he swung right through it because of how slow it was coming in and the action on it.
So the Wednesday night hero strolls to the plate. Drew Lawrence had this single in the bottom of the 12th inning that sent the Majors And the fans that were left by that time home happy. Takes a first pitch swing and fouls it out of play.
Lawrence with the walk-off hit. He led the majors in batting average this season, though he did not qualify. He only played 25 games for London, 70 at-bats, but hit 400 for the majors this year. Had a home run, 10 runs batted in.
There's a look from down low from Iguchi, and it's there for a strike, and it's 0-2 here on Lawrence.
Yeah, Drew Lawrence, I don't think he was quite ready for that offering. He was hoping to swing, but because of the change in arm slot, it kind of fooled him just a little bit, and Iguchi gets away with one right down Main Street.
Another look, and strike 3 looking. Back-to-back strikeouts here on the bottom of the first for Iguchi, and there's 2 gone.
Really good pitch there from Takaki Iguchi. He froze Drew Lawrence with the submarine arm slot on the 0-1 pitch, so he likes to go back with it on 0-2 and finds the outside corner pretty clearly. So a very good pitch there from Takaki Iguchi, painting the corners well and starting in the ball game with 2 strikeouts. Not much more you can ask.
As if hitting is not hard enough, you change the arm slot from pitch to pitch. And the mind games begin. Inside for ball 1, here is Eduardo Deolio for the London Majors. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the inning. He'll look to try and put a ball in play here. Missing low, and I think Bernardo wanted to get the bottom of the zone call there.
Deolio's got such a good eye. The umpires tend to respect it as well. If it's a close call, it's not often it goes against Eduardo Deolio.
Swings and fouls that one off towards the Majors dugout.
There are certain guys where as an umpire you kind of figure, okay, he's got a good feel of the strike zone. If he's taken that pitch, it's not because he's not looking to swing, it's because it was a ball. And so if it's on the edge of the plate, if it's a borderline offering, then Deolio oftentimes will get the benefit of the doubt.
2-1 is fouled off and out of play. One other thing to keep in mind, Dylan, as well, is if it's fooling the batter, it could fool the umpire as well.
Yep.
The change in delivery. When it's just not what you're expecting to come towards the plane, it could throw you off for a half second.
Absolutely it can. The umpire is looking for it out of one spot. It comes out from another. It can mess with you.
2-2 inside. Deolio backs off the plate there. And he'll take an extended little walk here.
Yeah, Deolio taking a second to regroup after that last offering. It's not like it's coming in slow from Takaki Iguchi. He's got a very good fastball. Can rip it.
The 3-2 delivery. Hit hard on the ground to shortstop. Gobbled up by DeCastro. The throw across the diamond is in time. And the Cardinals get the Majors to go 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the first inning. There is no score at Labatt Memorial Park through 1. In Game 1. You're watching the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs here on Majors TV and Cable 14.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
London International Airport provides a stress-free, easy and comfortable passenger experience. Visit flyYXU.ca to see our affordable sun destinations for winter. Travel is easy when you fly YXU.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors and styles. The staff helped us pick exactly what we wanted. They custom fit our suits for the perfect fit. They even matched us to our date's dress. It was so much fun trying on suits with the boys on the VIP night. They even got us pizza while we tried clothes on.
For prom kids, of course, are going to be the best dressed.
We felt so confident and looked amazing.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park as we move along to the top of the second inning. No score after one, just the one hit coming off the bat of Tyler Duncan. Let's take a look at the visiting lineup here. We didn't get a chance prior to that top of the first inning, Dylan, but here is the lineup for the visiting Hamilton Cardinals.
All that pregame show, Noah, and we still didn't get to the visitors lineup in today's game. The Hamilton Cardinals lining up with Luis Bernardo in the leadoff spot, followed by Calvin DeCastro. Tyler Duncan batting third, Dennis Day batting in the cleanup spot. We saw those four in the first inning. Then it's Tanner Rempel who will lead off the second here. Andrew Johnston follows him. Brendan Daly in the seventh spot. Stephen Whalen on his third IBL team this season has found success with Hamilton bats eighth, and Keeler Loveridge bats ninth for the Hamilton Cardinals.
So ready to go here in the top of the second inning. Payano looking to continue on to what has been a pretty good start. Did allow a hit and a walk in the top of the first, but no batter got past first base as the first pitch catches the inside corner for strike one.
Yeah, DeOlio threw out Bernardo on what appeared to be a missed hit and run, and then Duncan was stranded after the flyout from Dave Banning. Rempel this season against Victor Payano 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Missed upstairs with the fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Overall for Rempel, only played 20 games, but did hit .260, had 2 long balls, 15 runs batted, and 6 doubles as well.
Hits that ball hard. Up the middle. Nice play. Kurzminski to throw to one in time. Smooth play for the Majors shortstop, and there's one gone.
That's playoff level defense, Noah, if I do say so myself. Gibson Kurzminski right back up the middle. A hot shot. Gobbles it up, spinning, throwing to first in plenty of time to get Rempel. That's a really good play from Kurzminski, who has not seen a lot of time over at shortstop this season. Only recently has become a guy that the Majors play there quite frequently. Really, really good play.
Was able to spin and get that throw over to first on the money as well. Way easier said than done. And Payano loves it because he gets the first out on the board quickly here in the top of the second. That one misses inside. Now Johnson looks at strike one on the outside edge.
Johnson, another guy who's had a hard time against Victor Payano this year. 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the 2 times he's faced him.
Has a 1-1 count here against the London Majors lefty. Drops the curveball in there for strike 2.
That's a beautiful curveball from Victor Payano. It wasn't sharp, it didn't sweep all that much, but it was loopy, and it fooled Johnston.
That after 2 straight fastballs to begin the at-bat. See what they go with here on 1-2. Swing and a miss, breaking ball in the dirt. And down on strikes for the second out of the inning.
Didn't look like Payano came back with the curveball there with 2 strikes, but certainly went to the off speed, and he gets the chase from Johnston for the second out. Victor Payano starting this second inning off very, very well. A quick ground out and then a 4-pitch strikeout.
So now Daly will step into that right-hand batter's box. 2 outs on the board quickly here for the Cardinals in the second inning. And he'll look at a fastball for strike 1. Daly, the left fielder for Hamilton in this first game of the series. Strike 2 on the inside edge.
You could tell Daly wasn't too big of a fan of that call there on the inside part of the plate. Not putting up too big of a fight, but it was certainly a close one on the inside edge, and the Majors get the benefit of the doubt.
0-2. Payano way up in the count here. And strike 3. They're going to call him on the swing. Payano with a 1-2-3 top of the second and a pair of strikeouts.
Exactly what the Majors were hoping for from Victor Payano. Exactly what Payano himself was hoping for. A fantastic second inning for the Majors' big left-hander. Felt like he had every pitch in his arsenal working in that inning. Gets a pair of strikeouts of Johnson and Daly. Did not have to use a lot of pitches to do so. So a really, really good showing from Payano in that second inning.
Just what you need for the London Majors. Quick and efficient on the hill. It looks like it could be one of those games if these two guys are on, and we kind of knew that coming into this one, Dylan.
Absolutely. Absolutely we did. I mean, Takaki Iguchi, Victor Payano facing off. You know it's going to be a good pitching matchup, and I don't think anybody's complaining if these two go toe-to-toe throughout the night and made the best offense win against these two solid arms.
We mentioned two other games in the IBL tonight. Welland is in Kitchener, and Chatham-Kent is in Guelph at Hastings Stadium. No score in that game, but we do have a score in Kitchener as the Panthers, who got out to a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. But since then, 2 runs in the top of the second for the Jackfish, who are still batting, holding a 2-1 lead.
You know Welland's not going to go down without a fight in that series. Absolutely not. So that Welland offense showing what they're made of in Kitchener early. That's a hitter-friendly ballpark, and those two teams led the IBL in home runs this season. Welland with 55, Kitchener with 43. So expect some high-scoring games if they play a pair at Jack Couch.
Well, and that's one thing about, having to swap back and forth between the two stadiums.
Yep.
You could not find, in my opinion, two polar opposites. Right? Jack Couch is a small hitter-friendly ballpark, and I would put Welland and London hand-in-hand as the two pitcher-friendly ballparks in the league.
Yeah. With that said, Welland certainly hits their fair share of home runs in their own ballpark. I mean, time and time again, I see clips posted on their social media of guys hitting the ball out of the ballpark at Welland Stadium. With that said, it is much tougher than it is at Jack Couch, where it's significantly shallower in the outfield.
So ready to go in the bottom of the second inning here in London. And Caden Cardoso will be the man to face Takaki Iguchi first here in the inning. Majors went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. Looks at ball one, a breaking ball that broke too much and finished down and in. Majors put just one ball in play in that first inning. Pair of strikeouts for Iguchi to begin the ball game. Now a curveball, 1-1 here against Cardoso.
Cardoso hasn't seen Iguchi all that much. He's 1 for 1 in that June 16th game. Had an RBI double off of Iguchi. Drove home one of the 3 runs the Majors scored.
Chops at that one and fouls it off. It'll be in ball and 2 strikes.
Good example of the nasty stuff that Takaki Iguchi features there. That was a sharp breaking curveball, lots of movement on that pitch. If Cardoso hits it in fair, it's not hit very hard, and so you take the chance that he's either going to swing and miss at it or foul it off.
Ready here on a 1-2 look. And they're going to appeal down. They say Cardoso held up. And it'll be ball 2. That was 4 straight breaking balls to begin the at-bat to Cardoso.
You want to talk about a game plan, the Hamilton Cardinals showing off their game plan against Caden Cardoso. It's clearly working with the breaking balls because that's all he's seen in this at-bat, as you mentioned, Noah. Nearly got the chase that they were looking for from the big Majors left-handed hitting bat, but he does not go after it.
It is a 2-ball and 2-strike count here against the Majors cleanup hitter. Curveball again. And this is where the mind games, if you're in that left-hand batter's box, start twirling in your head, Dylan. Do I get a 6th straight curveball? He's got to change it up, right?
You would think. You would have to expect that he's not going to throw you another curveball, but you never know. If Iguchi likes it, he might go to it again.
3-2. They do again. He chops this one over to first base. Taking it himself is Rempel. And there's the first out of the inning.
I can't believe they went with the curveball. If I'm being completely honest, I made the case for why they would, but I didn't expect them to actually go to it again. And they do. Iguchi with a looping curve there, and Cardoso just rolls over on it towards first base.
A game plan is a game plan. If we think that you can execute on that pitch 6 times in a row, then we will put that number down 6 times in a row. It's just as simple as that. And Iguchi showed that he certainly can. as he retires Cardoso for the first out of the inning. This will bring Starling Joseph to the plate.
Joseph, a guy who struggled at times this season at the plate, finished the year batting .264, but really turned it on down the stretch, including a game in Hamilton.
Hit hard. That ball stays fair. Throw across the diamond in time to get Joseph. What a nice play from Welland, and Rempel with the scoop to finish it.
Really good play on both ends of that one, Noah. A strong play over at third base by Stephen Welland on a good hard-hit ball off the bat of Starling Joseph, and Rempel, the nice stretch over at first base to get the second out. A nice web gem by the Cardinals early on.
So Byron Reichstein to the plate here for the Majors now with 2 outs. Had no luck at the plate on Wednesday night to finish off the regular season. Looks at strike one here. It's a fastball on the other edge. Sign here from Bernardo. Iguchi agrees, delivers as Reichstein fouls one. It's slicing out of play down the line.
Reichstein, one of the guys who has had probably the most success against Takaki Iguchi this season in the one time that they faced off. He took him deep. A 2-run home run for Reichstein off of Iguchi. So Byron looking to rekindle some of that magic against the Cardinals right-hander.
Going to have to try and fight back from an 0-2 hole. Bernardo sets up high. Pitch missed a little bit there. Reichstein fouls it off, and it's going to get out of play. 2 rows deep by the Majors dugout.
I didn't see it, Noah, but by the sounds of it, a fan made a nice catch.
You can always tell by the cheer. Even got the Majors cheering there. It was just off to the right of their dugout. Count stays 0-2 here on Reichstein. And another foul ball out of play.
Reichstein doing a good job battling right now. It's what he's got to do against Takaki Iguchi. He knows the repertoire that Iguchi has and all the pitches he could come to him with. So Byron has to protect the plate. Anything close, he's going to be swinging. Just try to get a piece to stay alive and prolong the at-bat until he gets something he feels he can hit.
$17 strikes to 7 balls for Iguchi so far on 24 pitches. Here's another 0-2 to Reichstein. And good pitch, but it missed high.
Very good pitch there from Takaki Iguchi. It didn't miss by very much, Noah. Reichstein with the take.
Ready again in the delivery. Curveball, swing and a miss. Another clean inning of work for Takaki Iguchi and the Cardinals, who are through 2 scoreless against the Majors so far. This is Game 1 of the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs on Majors TV and Cable 14.
Beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home.
Josh's one.
Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and the athletes. Whether it's in the rink with the Knights or on the field with the Majors, Game Day London has you covered from the start. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com, a proud sponsor of Majors TV.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park on Majors TV and Cable 14 in Hamilton. No score between the Cardinals and the Majors. Majors still looking for their first hit. Both arms in this contest have had 2 stellar innings so far.
Well, it's exactly what you kind of expect, Dylan, when you look at who is throwing in this game. The two starters have been off to really good starts, and I expect that to continue here. Payano back out for his third inning of work now here in Game 1.
Payano will face 8, 9, and 1 in the Cardinals order. It'll be Stephen Welland, Koehler, Loveridge, and Luis Bernardo.
Welland had a nice play in that that bottom of the second at third base.
First pitch is fouled off towards the parking lot.
You mentioned 3 teams this season for Welland. Has really kind of found the home and settled in a bit here with Hamilton in the back half of the season, though.
Yeah, hitting 190 with the Hamilton Cardinals, 4 for 21, but he's played some good defense and has really done well against the majors, actually. I think 2 of those 4 hits have come against London. That one inside, it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, and oftentimes the first stat, and all guilty of it, everyone's guilty of it, is you look at the average, right?
Yep.
You think, oh, okay, he's struggled a little bit this year, but adds so much more to the game than just the average.
Here's the 1-1 from Payano. Breaking ball just misses, and it's 2-1.
Well, I won't go as far as making up false numbers or anything, but there's a good chunk of third basemen in the league that don't make that play that Welland made.
Yep.
And those defensive outs in the playoffs become ultra important.
Here's the 2-1 from Payano. Swing and a miss at the fastball, and it's 2-2.
Payano with the fastball. He's so electric with it and uses it to get ahead of batters. It's a challenge pitch for him.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The left-hander Payano ready. He'll kick and deal. On the ground, not hit very hard. Going to be a tough play. Krasminski charges on the run, throw to first. In time to get him. Great play by Gibson Krasminski over at shortstop. Sets down Stephen Welland for the first out of the 3rd inning.
Well, Welland was out of the box in a hurry. He knew he had a chance to beat that one out. And Krasminski came across with a nice throw that was, as you mentioned, right on the money. And they got him by just a hair over at first base.
Perfect throw from Gibson Krasminski there. And that will bring up Koehler Loveridge. First pitch to Loveridge. In there for a strike. It's 0-1. Cut on and missed. 0-2.
Payano as well. I talked about how Iguchi was being ultra effective on the hill throwing strikes. Payano is doing the same here. 32 pitches, 22 of those have been strikes.
The 0-2 home. Called strike 3. Payano pounding the strike zone. Gets another punch out there, and there's 2 gone in the 3rd.
Well, I mentioned that fastball is his challenge pitch. And a good pitcher can look at the swings that a batter is producing and say, all right, here's the fastball. Try and beat it. We saw that on Wednesday night with Brandon Deans of the Guelph Royals. He didn't throw anything but fastballs in extra innings, and that's because guys weren't hitting it.
Yeah.
Why waste pitches on curveballs in the dirt when I can blow it by you?
Luis Bernardo into the batter's box now. Here's the pitch. Squaring around a bunt, a breaking ball, 0-1. Bernardo this season has been fantastic against the London Majors. He's got 10 hits against London this year. He's 3 for 4 against Victor Payano coming into this game. Worked a walk back in the 1st inning. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses. 1-1, and I think DeOlio lost the baseball there.
He did. 289 average on the season for Bernardo, 44 hits. That gives you kind of a sample size of what he's done against the majors this year compared to the rest of the Intercounty Baseball League. He's been tearing the cover off the ball.
Payano ready. The lefty kicks and comes home. Swing and a miss, 1-2. It's not like those 10 hits came over a long stretch of at-bats either for Luis Bernardo. He has not seen the majors more than anybody else in the league. He just happens to hit them very, very well. 20 at-bats. He's hitting .500 against the majors this year, 10 for 20. Here's the 1-2 home. Line drive straight back towards us at the backstop, and we'll try again on 1-2.
Has been one of the big bats in the lineup for Hamilton this year in terms of run production. Second on the team in RBIs with 43. By IBL standards and really baseball standards, that's over a RBI per team game played. It's pretty good.
Here's the 1-2 from Payano. Called strike 3, freezes Bernardo. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Victor Payano, and he continues to roll along.
And he has some words here, and he's actually getting a warning, I believe, from the home plate umpire as Payano made his way off the mound. A quick conversation, we'll call it, with Bernardo. But hey, he's got the last laugh, at least in that at-bat, with the strikeouts as we move along to the bottom of the third inning here, and the Majors will go back to the bat still and looking to try and find some offense against Iguchi.
Majors looking to get anything going against Takaki Iguchi right now. He has had their number up to this point. While we've got a second, let's throw it down to field level to our host of the ball game, Justin Koehler. Justin, what do you got for us?
Gentlemen, one of the key things that everyone should be kind of paying attention for today is the pitching matchup, and not just today, but tomorrow, the next day, and the entire series as a whole, as it's one of the key similarities to compare between these two teams. And it started with plenty of performances throughout the regular season with both the Majors and the Cardinals having 2 pitchers finishing in the top 10 for ERA, and both of them are tonight's starters. The Majors have Victor Payano and Travis Keys, and the Cardinals have Takaki Iguchi and Mizuki Akatsuka. I'm here with co-owner and general manager Rup Chanat, who decided to stop in. How you doing? I'm good. It's nice to see you. Good luck with the game today. Anyways, it carries forward to a lot of the stat categories with ERA, batting average against, the works, very similar between these two teams. And it should say a lot for why these two teams have been so much fun to watch throughout the regular season and tonight so far as well with the pitching performances tonight. So let's send it back up to Noah and Dylan in the Game Day London press box. And gentlemen, it's great watching stellar pitching like this tonight.
It's great watching stellar pitching. It's great watching Rup in such a good mood crashing your hit. How about that, Justin? That's a fun time. Rup's having a good time at field level. Good to see, keeping it light here in Game 1. Hoping, though, that his team can get something going because they've really struggled against a good pitcher, like Justin was mentioning, in Takaki Iguchi.
Yeah, he's hoping his offense can come alive here in this bottom of the third inning. Good to see Rup loose out there. You don't often get to see that side of Rup, especially down on field level. It is business, but fooling around a little bit there. And Justin, of course, first-hand experience down at field level with all the sights and sounds.
So here in the bottom of the third inning, it'll be Cleveland Brownlee to lead things off for the Majors. He'll be followed by Victor Plaz and Tristan Osika.
Well, this will be a big chance for Cleve to get the bats going, kind of show some leadership here, some experience. But he's got a crafty pitcher to try and do it against.
The Cleveland We Love You song being sung by the Ballflowers. He gets set to face Iguchi. First pitch breaking ball. Did he go? Pretty clearly did not. And they will get that confirmation from the first base umpire. Brownlee 1 for 1 with a double against Takaki Iguchi this year. Hit one out to the fence back on Father's Day against the Cardinals right-hander. Goes submarine, gets the call on the outside corner. Cleveland can't believe it from the home plate umpire, Rob Stevenson.
Cleveland here, his first at-bat in his 14th IBL postseason, Dylan. He's taken more playoff at-bats than a lot of guys will take in their IBL careers.
Hits this one hard towards shortstopper. Kelvin DeCastro waits back on the big hop. Strong throw to first in plenty of time to get Brownlee. So the Majors remain hitless after the ground out.
Just a bit out in front of that. When he got it off the end of the bat, still was able to hit it fairly hard out to shortstop. But DeCastro with a strong throw across the diamond got Cleve with plenty of time for the first down here of the inning.
So one gone. That will bring up Victor Plaz to the plate. Plaz, who hit in the high 280s this season for the bulk of the year. A very consistent hitter for London, finished up at 275. Was on a 12-game hitting streak that was snapped this week. So trying to get back to his hitting ways.
He is a bat that the Majors are hoping can heat up here in the postseason.
Here's the first pitch from Iguchi to Plaz. Swing and a miss on a good breaking ball. It's 0-1.
He really took a lot off on that pitch. It took a little bit to get to home plate there. And Plaz, I could tell, waited on it, too.
Yep.
He waited on that one and waited. And when he swung, he was still out in front of it.
Plaz 0 for 2, the only guy to see Iguchi for 2 at-bats this year. Has a strikeout in those 2 trips as well. That one a much sharper curve, and it is 1-1. Here's the 1-1 home in the dirt. That one skips away from Bernardo. Doesn't matter with nobody on base. Hence the count now, 2 balls and a strike.
Plaz, a .275 average this season for the Majors. Strikeouts were a bit of an issue for him during the regular season, but also had some pop, so you keep him in the lineup here.
2-1, Victor Plaz obliterates this baseball to left field. It's all the way back, and it's way out of here. Victor Plaz, a solo home run to get the Majors on the board first to kick off Game 1 of the postseason.
Did someone say pop? Oh, boy. That is why you keep a bat like that in the lineup. And a 1-0 lead for the Majors here in Game 1 on their first hit of the ball game.
How about that? Victor Plaz unloads on that baseball, gives London a 1-0 lead. Exactly what they were hoping for from the number 8 hitter. Plaz with that kind of power in the 8 spot, you can't go wrong if you're the Majors. So Tristan Osika now in the batter's box here against Iguchi. First pitch cut on and missed by Osika. It's 0-1.
Finally, a little bit of energy into the crowd here at Labatt Memorial Park as well. Not to say that they were out of it here, but a bunch of zeros on the board to begin the game. And finally a number up there. And now Bernardo is actually, he's waving in Daly in left field.
Doesn't think he needs to be that deep out in left. Here's the pitch to Osika. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
You had mentioned, I think, back in the first inning, Dylan, about how Bernardo has done a lot of help with the coaching for the Cardinals this year. And that's just one of the things that he does. You often hear about the catchers kind of being the leader, the captain out on the field. Well, he does so there as well.
0-2, Submarine just misses. It's 1-2. Osika 1 for 1, had a single against Takaki Iguchi earlier this year. Here's the 1-2 home. Called strike 3. Iguchi gets the call in the bottom part of the strike zone, and Osika, is the second out of this bottom of the 3rd inning.
Well, there's no better way to bounce back after the long ball than a strikeout for Iguchi. And listen, if you can keep the Majors off the bases, and when the blasts come like that, they're just solo home runs, you can keep rolling on and kind of continue the way that you've begun the ball game, and he gets right back into it there with the strikeout.
So Gibson Krasminski into the batter's box. First guy to see Takaki Iguchi for a second time. We'll see if that helps him out. Just the one hit on the scoreboard for the Majors coming courtesy of Victor Plaz. First pitch curveball misses for ball 1. Will skip in, and it's 2 balls and no strikes here.
Turn the lineup back over here for the Majors. Kind of throw things off a little bit here, and now you see if you can, second time through the order, start getting to the starter.
2-0, that's in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Two-one count, 2 out. Here's the pitch from Iguchi. Chopped foul by Krasminski, and the count now at 2-2.
For Krasminski, they have been working him a lot on the inside portion of the plate with the soft stuff, a changeup, breaking ball. Have not been giving him a lot of fastballs outside.
Here's the 2-2 home. That one on the outside part of the plate. Krasminski fights it off and will try again on 2-2. He was a strikeout victim back in the first.
Mindset, of course, behind the pitch location, not to let him get his hands extended too much. Over the middle portion of the plate.
2-2, 2 away here in the third. The offering from Iguchi misses, and it is now full at 3-2. Iguchi nods along, gets the sign he wants. Here's the right-hander's offering. Misses low for ball 4. A similar pitch, the one that Osika was called out on. This one goes the way of the Majors, and Krasminski's a 2-out base runner for London.
Well, and Bernardo and Iguchi, I think, both thought they got that corner. They certainly didn't miss where they wanted it to be. Bang on the money, but they just did not get the call from the home plate umpire. Krasminski takes the walk, and the Majors have a base runner with 2 outs here in the inning.
So Drew Lawrence into the batter's box for London. Struck out looking back in the first. Long hold from Iguchi. Here's the pitch. Lawrence lines this one. Right field line. Slicing, and it will get down. A foul ball.
Drew tried to jump on that first pitch. Slice it down the line. A very similar swing to the one that he hit into right field on Wednesday night to win the ball game, but it was just a hair behind that pitch, resulting in the foul ball.
0-1 count here with 2 away. Here's the offering. Pitch out here. Really expecting Krasminski to be running with Lawrence at the plate, and the result is ball 1.
Well, you know what? I was actually just thinking to myself about if the Majors might try to put something on here, whether that's a hit and run or a steal. It would likely be the hit and run if they were going to do anything there. Krasminski's lead doesn't suggest that he's going to try to swipe second, but this is the first time that Iguchi's had to work from the stretch.
Quick throw over. Krasminski looked like he was on the move, and the Majors may get away with one as it gets through the legs of the first baseman, Rempel.
Yeah, get away with one is right. I think they might have had him there if that ball stays in the glove. We'll never know. Of course, it got away, and now Iguchi back on the hill.
Krasminski the lead at first, not running. Here's the pitch, breaking ball. Oh, goodness. Gets the call, and it's 1-2.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that pitch was actually as bad as it looked. I think Bernardo got crossed up with Iguchi there. You can see he was almost surprised a little bit, and it wasn't because of the call. But when he had to reach like that, it certainly doesn't look like it was a strike.
A lot of movement on that catch by Bernardo. Krasminski the lead at first. Here's the 1-2. He's on the move. Cut on and miss, strike 3. The throw down will not matter. And that will end the inning. So we are through 3 complete here at Labatt Park. Victor Plaz getting the Majors on the board first with a solo home run. You're watching the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs on Majors TV and Cable 14.
Has a potential to win another championship.
All the boys have talked about it in the clubhouse, getting that three-peat, you know.
You guys can win. You guys can win.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park on Majors TV and Cable 14 for the fourth inning between the London Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals. Somebody finally breaks through on the scoreboard in that third. You spoke it into existence, Noah. Victor Plaz, the solo home run.
Well, he's got pop in that bat, Dylan, and there is a reason why a guy like that is in your lineup. He has the ability to put a run on the board with one swing. He does that there. The Majors get the 1-0 lead as we head to the fourth inning here at Labatt Memorial Park. Still very much a pitcher's duel here. Don't get me wrong. That one swing puts the Majors up by a run, but these guys are battling between each other on the hill so far.
Victor Payano has been efficient and successful up to this point for the Majors. 38 pitches across 3 innings, has not allowed a run in this start as the Majors lead by 1-0. Everything that you could hope for from Victor Payano, he's delivered on up to this point.
This is a guy that you want on the hill for game 1 of a playoff series, and he's doing exactly what you want through 3 innings, a guy to do in a playoff series, and he's giving you quality batters here. Getting ahead, not falling behind, and finishing the job here so far. He's done a fantastic job on the hill. 38 pitches, 27 strikes for Payano.
Raquelman DeCastro will step into the batter's box here for the Hamilton Cardinals. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Hamilton. DeCastro, Duncan, DeBenning. Out-of-town scoreboard update just briefly. Guelph up big on Chatham-Kent, 6-0. Hamilton up big on Kitchener, 8-1. Here's the pitch from Payano. Breaking ball. Does not catch the outside part of the plate. It's ball 1.
Well, working with the lead for the first time here in the ball game is Payano, and this is where you'll get to see if he gains a little bit of confidence from that 1-0 lead.
1-0 home from Payano will miss, and it's 2-0.
You mentioned the out-of-town scoreboard there briefly there, Dylan. That's exactly what I expect the 1 seed to do after losing game 1 on their home field. They have come back out with the bats blazing in game 2.
2-0 from Payano. That's there to DeCastro, 2-1. Jose Vasquez got the start for Kitchener. He's allowed all 8 runs so far. 4 in the second, 4 in the third. Welland throwing Teodoro Ortega. Here's the 2-1 from Payano. That one hit to left field, sinking quickly. It'll drop in front of Starling Joseph. So it's a leadoff single for Raquelman DeCastro here in the top of the 4th inning.
Hit that ball pretty hard to left field and dropped in front of Starling Joseph. Now Hamilton's got the leadoff man. First time that a leadoff batter, I believe, has reached here in the ball game.
Bernardo reaching the first on a walk.
I had forgotten about it because Bernardo promptly got thrown out at second base.
That'll bring up Tyler Duncan, who up until that base hit from DeCastro had the only hit for the Hamilton Cardinals in this game. Here's the first pitch from Payano. That'll miss for ball 1.
Both the Cardinal hits so far tonight have been hard hit as well. Which as a pitcher it makes you feel at least a little bit better. No cheesy ones getting over top of the head of infielders.
Here's the 1-0. Duncan goes around. That one gets away from DeOlio. DeCastro gets to second. He'll round and have a look, but stay put over there. So 1-1 count now, and we'll see the ruling on that last pitch.
Well, that was a big bounce there for the Cardinals as that ball got away. You're at a part in the lineup here where even with the leadoff man on, Dylan, you're not going to bunt him over. You're not going to try to move him up in the middle of your order here. But that does the job for you. And now you've got him in scoring position for some big bats in your order.
So DeCastro at second with Duncan at the plate. DeBenning on deck. Exactly where you want to be if you're the Cardinals. Long hold from Payano. Here's the pitch. That's there for strike 2 to Duncan.
Curveball, a second straight pitch there for Payano. This one they brought back in a little bit and brought it up a little bit as well, so it caught the zone.
1-2 count, time called by Tyler Duncan at the plate, so Payano will have to reset, much to his chagrin out there.
Well, I was wondering if they were going to, I don't want to say get away with it there, but Payano came set before Duncan was even in the box there, so he didn't come to the plate very quickly, so I didn't think it was going to matter, but they did get the time in there.
1-2 home, swing and a miss, strike three. Victor Payano, yet another strikeout in this ball game. Make it 6 now in the early going as he sits down Duncan.
Well, they loved going to the curveball there against the lefty bat, and it worked for him. Not once, not twice, but 3 times to get the strikeout.
So Dennis Debenning into the batter's box here. DeCastro still in scoring position at second. Glad you're with us on a Friday night, wherever you're watching from. Here's the pitch from Payano. That's there for strike one.
Leadoff man to second base with nobody out. This is an inning the Cardinals really want to get one here and not squander this opportunity.
Long hold from Payano, the 0-1 home. Upstairs, Debenning doesn't chase, they'll appeal, and no swing. It's 1-1.
Payano really thought that he got him to go around there. He's pointing at Ben Flesher there, saying that you need to be over on the first base line to give me that call. Well, 3-man system here, that's not how the umpires rotate.
Payano spins, faked a throw over, and got DeCastro scampering back. One count, 1 out. Here's the offering from Payano. Swing and a miss. Debenning late on that one, and it's 1-2.
The pitch selection from Payano, and not to discredit DeOlio as well, calling him here has been phenomenal in my opinion so far tonight.
Would be a big second out if they can get Debenning here with the runner in scoring position. Osika creeping. Here's the 1-2 home. Swing and a miss, strike three. Payano gets another strikeout, 7 in the ball game. And there's 2 gone.
The fastball just overpowers the Debenning there, and Payano, his 7th strikeout, as you mentioned there, of the evening early here in this ball game still. And is still an out away, though, from working out of this, I'll call it a mini jam here in the top of the 4th.
So Tanner Rempel in the batter's box. Payano ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Misses for ball 1.
Cardinals don't want to waste this leadoff single that got to second on the ball that got away at home plate. So far, it's been 2 straight batters who haven't been able to even put one in play.
Rempel hit one hard up the middle as last time. Krasminski made a nice play. That one doesn't get the call there on the offering from Payano. It was close, but I think the way DeOlio caught it led to the ball.
Yeah, sometimes that is enough to not get the call, especially if it's on the edge, on a corner. If you don't catch it or receive it properly as a catcher, that can throw off the umpire enough to miss the call.
2-0 count. Here's the pitch from Payano. That's there for a strike. It's 2-1.
Payano's fastball has been located so well tonight when he's gone for that inside corner with DeOlio. Twice earlier in the game, he had batters backing off on pitches that caught the inside edge.
Payano peeks back. Here's the 2-1 home. That one hit hard to right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. DeCastro getting the stop sign over at third. The throw from Reichstein will go all the way home and hold DeCastro at third base. But now the Cardinals have runners on the corners with 2 out.
Reichstein's still got a really good arm in right field. Cardinals know that, so they are not willing to risk it. Throw was pretty good. Brought DeOlio up the line a little bit, that first base line. But it would have been close at the plate if they did send him.
So tying run 90 feet away over at third base. Payano trying to find a baseball he likes.
There goes another one back to the dugout.
You know what? It's a big game. You can't fault him for trying to find a baseball that feels good in his hands.
You always wondered if those ones that get thrown back to the Majors dugout are going right back out to the home plate umpire next time.
100%. Andrew Johnson in the box. Here's the first pitch, breaking ball. That's there for strike one. Clearly the baseball was good enough for a good breaking ball. Here's the 0-1 from Payano. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Johnston, one of the 7 strikeout victims so far in the ball game for Hamilton, and in danger of going down on strikes for the second time. Those 7 strikeouts for Payano so far, Dylan, have come on 7 different batters as well. Has yet to strike anybody in Hamilton's lineup out twice yet, but he's got a big 0-2 count here on Johnston.
0-2, trying to get out of the jam, Victor Payano. Here's the pitch. Make it 8. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Payano gets out of it, and we head to the bottom of the 4th with the Majors holding on to a 1-0 lead.
Well, speak it into existence, there it is. The first time that he's struck out a Cardinals batter twice tonight. His 8th punch out of the ball game, and he continues to roll through 4 scoreless innings now on 57 pitches for Victor Payano. He is dealing so far. Majors looking to try and give him a little bit more run support here as we move along to the bottom of the 4th inning.
There is the first guy that Victor Payano has struck out twice in this ball game, Andrew Johnston. And now Takaki Iguchi heads back out to the mound here for the Hamilton Cardinals. Pitching very, very well despite being down in this ball game. Really one pitch that got away from him, and that was the home run to Victor Plaz.
Yeah, and I don't think it was a terrible pitch, but Plaz was ready for it, and that's the difference there, is that he was ready for that pitch in that location, and he was able to hit it a long way out to left field. Dylan, I don't think we've mentioned it yet today. The schedule for this series is 3 straight games this weekend. Teams will head to Hamilton tomorrow night and then back here at Labatt Memorial Park on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Those, of course, the only 3 confirmed games, guaranteed games in the series. They will have an off day on Monday, and then it's Tuesday, Wednesday, if needed in this series.
I was talking to that guy right there, Rup Chanat, last week, and he was saying this is a gauntlet of a schedule for the Majors because if you'll recall, they played Monday, they played Tuesday, they played Wednesday. They had yesterday off, right back to the ballpark today to play Game 1 against the Cardinals. Then they've got Game 2 tomorrow, and as you mentioned, Game 3 on Sunday, another off day Monday, and 2 more baseball games. So that's 2 days off over a 10-day span. It's a lot for this London Ball Club.
There is one positive I can think of when you look at a schedule like this, and that's if the Majors, or the Cardinals for that matter, were to get through this series in 3 games, you're likely going to have 4 or 5 days off before you start the second round of the playoffs. So you will have time to rest up if you get this series done. Even if it's done in 4 games, you're likely going to have 3 or 4 days off before you get into round 2.
So Eduardo DeOlio will step into the batter's box here for the London Majors. Trying to add on for London here in the bottom of the 4th inning against Iguchi. Right-hander ready's on the rubber. Here's the pitch. Off the plate outside to DeOlio, ball 1. DeOlio 0 for 1 on the day, as many in the Majors lineup are. Grounded out to shortstop his last time up. Hit pretty hard, though, to DeCastro.
part of the Majors order here where you'd like to see them try and put together a decent half inning. Their one hit has been a home run, and other than that, it's been a fairly quiet night first time through the order.
1-1 count. Here's the pitch to DeOlio. That one hit towards shortstop. De Castro plays it on the big hop in the backhand. Throw to first. Nice stretch there by Rempel, and they get the first out.
And a good look there. He was able to keep that foot on the bag with the stretch. That took him a little bit more to his left than he would have liked, but the Cardinals complete the putout. DeOlio retired and one gone here in the bottom of the fourth.
So Caden Cardoso to the plate for the London Majors. Got a steady dose of breaking balls his last time up. 6 in a row.
I was just going to say that. I wonder what they start him with here after 6 straight curveballs in his first at-bat.
Iguchi ready on the rubber. Here's the pitch. Guess what? Curveball, 0-1.
So my question is, and I don't know if I even have an answer for it, Dylan, but what is the number? Like, how many are you willing to throw? Are you just going off of, is he seeing them well? Because he didn't really put a good swing on one his first time around. Chopped a few foul.
That one hit on the ground towards shortstop. De Castro waits back. Here's the throw to first in time to get Cardoso. Wasn't sure what that pitch was there, Noah, but they get the out, and there's 2 gone on the bottom of the fourth.
It didn't look like the curveball that we saw for the first 7 pitches of the night to Caden Cardoso, but wasn't the fastball either. Either way, Iguchi's got the out. 2 quick ones here in the bottom of the fourth.
So Starling Joseph will step into the batter's box, trying to spark something with 2 away.
Joseph grounded out to third base his first time through the order. It was a nice play by Stephen Whalen over at third to get him on a ball that just stayed fair inside the line.
First pitch is there for a strike. It's 0-1. Iguchi looks in for the sign and comes set on the rubber. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. 0-2. Fastball up and in on Joseph. Couldn't get a bat on it.
The second time through the order here for the Majors hitters now. You can get a sense that, well, they've seen everything now, and now it's just a matter of getting the pitch you want.
Iguchi trying to put away Joseph and get another clean inning on his line score. That one off the plate outside. It's 1-2.
First time around, and now this second time around to Joseph. He has seen the fastball a fair amount from Iguchi. Almost like he's trying to challenge some of these big power hitters, especially the right-handed ones.
That one off the plate outside. 2-2.
It's the first time in a while that I can remember Iguchi went down low on that pitch.
Yep. Has come high to Joseph a fair amount up to this point. Two away. Here's the offering to Starling. Upstairs. Count runs full now.
Went to the heavy fastball. They wanted him to chase that one up in the zone. Starling did not bite. And now it's a full count.
So full count, 2 away. Here's the pitch to Starling Joseph, a breaking ball. Misses, and it's ball 4. So Joseph works the walk, and he'll be aboard with 2 out for Byron Reichstein.
Well, a great at-bat there by Starling Joseph. He did not chase a couple of 2-strike pitches there and is rewarded with a walk to put him aboard for now Byron Reichstein. Strikeout victim his first time around tonight.
Reichstein trying to get off the schneid a bit here in this at-bat. Has a runner over at first and 2 away. mentioned in his previous trip to the plate, he's had success against Iguchi earlier this season. Here's the pitch. That's there for a strike. It's 0-1.
The key for Majors hitters tonight, I think, is going to be getting on Iguchi early in the count, right? Don't get in a deep hole where you allow him to explore his arsenal, if you will.
Here's the 0-1. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Iguchi at 61 pitches now through 3 2/3 innings.
No sign of bullpen action. You wouldn't expect it here in the bottom of the 4th inning, the way that Iguchi has been throwing.
Quick throw over to first base. Good move. That's the second close play we've seen over there on a pickoff attempt from Iguchi. Joseph back safely.
Oftentimes for pitchers, Dylan, you'll hear about, a B move or a C move over to first base, not showing your best stuff. And I don't know if Iguchi is or not, but those have been 2 really quick moves over to first base so far tonight, and he's almost got a pair of runners.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball. That one floats in there for a strike to Byron. It's 1-2.
And now Reichstein in that 2-strike count again, 1-2.
One-two count. Iguchi trying to put him away and strand Joseph. The right-hander kicks and delivers. Joseph running, pitches off the plate. The throw from Bernardo is into center field. Joseph gets up, he's charging for third. Coming up, throwing, and letting up is Duncan. Joseph picks up 180 feet on the stolen base in the air.
Well, Bernardo behind the plate was able to get that throw off in a fairly quick time, but his throw was a little bit to the second base side of the bag, and DeCastro had to reach for it, and he could not reach enough. Ball got into center field, and Starling Joseph able to move up to third on the throwing error to the catcher. And now a runner 90 feet away here for Byron Reichstein.
2-2, 2 away. Reichstein a chance to add on here for London with Joseph in scoring position. Big pitch coming up for Takaki Iguchi. Here's the offering. In the dirt. Reichstein a good take, and the count now runs full.
Anyway, on here for Byron doesn't necessarily have to be a hit. You have Cleveland Brownlee behind you.
Iguchi sets. The 3-2 home. Reichstein, right field, sinking quickly, chasing after it. Dave Benning, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Byron Reichstein delivers an RBI single with 2 away, and the Majors extend the lead. It's 2-0 London.
Well, he's been in a bit of a slump over the last few games, but he breaks out of it there with a single into the right center field gap. Brings in the second run in the second straight inning for the Majors and a 2-0 lead.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 35,
Cleveland Brownlee stepping up to the plate now for the Majors. Byron Reichstein standing over at first. Brownlee 0 for 1 on the day. Quick peek from Iguchi. Here's the pitch. Off the plate outside for ball 1.
Two outs here. Byron, I don't know if they're going to put something on here. His lead's pretty good. The secondary I saw in that first pitch was really good for Byron. They're going to want to score him if this ball gets into the gap or down the lines.
1-0 home. Reichstein not running off the plate. Snap throw. Bernardo. Tag. Not in time.
Well, there's that secondary. You got to get back quick if you're going to get out there. And he did. I tell you what, Ben Flesher's been tested as that first base umpire tonight. There have been some close pick plays and some close plays in general so far.
Never an easy game for an umpire. 2-0 count. Here's the pitch to Brownlee. Chopped towards third. It's going to get foul, and so the count now at 2-1.
That was Cleve gearing up for something on 2-0. Knew Iguchi had to at least try and throw a strike there, keep it around the zone. But all he was able to do was foul that one off.
Two-one count, 2 away. Set is Iguchi. Here's the pitch. That's low, and Cleve tells you it's low. It's 3-1.
Can hear him up here.
Ball 4. The playoff crowd gets their wish. Brownlee works a walk, and now there's 2 on with 2 out for Hamilton, which will lead to a mound visit.
First mound visit for either side so far here tonight, and it comes after a Cleveland Brownlee 2-out walk. Victor Plaz is the batter next here. He had the home run an inning ago. Remember, it was 2 quick outs to Deolio and then Cardoso to begin the inning. It was a walk to Starling Joseph. He stole second base, moved up to third on the air before Byron Reichstein brought him in on a single, and then the walk to Cleveland Brownlee. So all this for London with 2 outs. And a chance here for Plaz to drive in another.
Iguchi at 70 pitches through 3 2/3. No action in the Hamilton bullpen as Victor Plaz steps in. Plaz hit 2 regular season home runs, did have 1 in exhibition play, which also happened to come against the Hamilton Cardinals. Plaz trying to cash in for London again. Pitch from Iguchi. Ball 5, as the crowd will tell you. Ball 1 to Victor Plaz.
Plaz here, he's got a chance to drive in the run, as we've mentioned, but more importantly, you've kind of got Iguchi a little bit on the ropes here in the bottom of the 4th inning. You want to put together a good at-bat and at least keep the line moving.
1-0 in the dirt. Ball 2 to Plaz.
It wasn't 4 straight to walk Brownlee, but it was ball 3 and 4, so it's now been 4 straight balls from Iguchi and 6 of his last 7. I would think the take sign is on here.
Time called by Bernardo, the catcher, pointing down the line.
I don't know if he was pointing into the Cards dugout there.
Not sure.
The Hamilton bullpen now scrambling to get ready.
Here's the 2-0. Inside, ball 3 to Victor Plaz, and he is in control now, 3-0.
30 seconds ago, there was a line of chairs in the Hamilton bullpen. Now there is someone throwing. And try to pick up that number for you, as they can sense that Takaki Iguchi here has maybe lost the zone.
That one finds the strike zone, and it's 3-1 now to Plaz.
Puts an end to 5 straight balls from Iguchi. Given Plaz his home run tonight, I think you take the stop sign off here. If it's there, go ripping.
Here's the 3-1 from Iguchi. That's there for strike 2. Count runs full now with 2 away.
And Plaz with the take there. Maybe wanted to see another one after the streak of balls there from Iguchi. It's a full count here. Bernardo, you could see him waving, was trying to alert the infielders that they've got to go across here on a ground ball.
3-2, 2 out. Runners will be off on the pitch. Victor Plaz ready in the box. Iguchi ready on the rubber. Here's the offering. Plaz in the air, foul territory. Slicing, it's going to get into the crowd. It's a foul ball. So Plaz will try again here on 3-2. Iguchi trying to end the inning here. 76 pitches through 3 2/3 for Takaki Iguchi. The payoff pitch. Plaz in the air, center field, hit pretty well. Moving over is Tyler Duncan, still going back. And did he haul it in? No, it's over his head. Around third, coming in to score, Cleveland Brownlee.
Plaz is rounding the bases. That ball did not leave the yard. It's a ground rule double, and they're going to have to bring him and Cleveland Brownlee back.
Cardinals signaling right away that's a ground rule double. Plaz rounds the bases.
Has there been a signal from the umpiring crew, Dylan? I don't think we've seen one.
They're going to talk things over right now. Chris Piano right out there. We'll wait to see what the call is from the umpiring crew. It is a ground rule double.
I was going to say, that ball certainly hopped over the wall in left center. So the Majors will have to. It's a ground rule double, and the runner will go back to third. Brownlee, Plaz to second, and a 4. Well, now is this a mound visit? I think.
Well, if it's a mound visit, it's got to be a.
It's got to be a pitching change. Yeah, it is.
And Iguchi's not happy about it, but it looks like that will be the end of his night. So Victor Plaz, 2 clutch hits in the ball game for the Majors, and we've got ourselves a pitching change brought to you by Throw London. We'll get you the new arm and numbers when we come back.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Big Will. I'm from Throw London. I'm the owner of Throw London and the expert of London, Ontario for axe throwing. Come on down and visit us with friends, family, or co-workers. We've got axes, we've got knives, we've got shovels, we have darts, and as a matter of fact, you can get a cold beverage while you're here throwing. So we'd love to have you come down. Call us, book your appointment today.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
London International Airport provides a stress-free, easy and comfortable passenger experience. Visit flyYXU.ca to see our affordable sun destinations for winter. Travel is easy when you fly YXU.
Back here on Majors TV and on Cable 14, new arm into the ball game, a pitching change brought to you by Throw London. London's original knife throwing, Corbin Peters taking over for the Cardinals.
The Cardinals going to the bullpen here in the bottom of the fourth. Takaki Iguchi lost the zone for a little bit there, and then a big swing from Victor Plaz that many here in the ballpark thought got over the fence. It's a ground rule double. And now the Majors are going to have to face a new arm. Corbin Peters, 13 games so far for the Cardinals this season, a 3.22 earned runs average. He has had the Majors number. Last pitch against the Majors on August the 11th. It was a 4-3 win for the Cardinals. He pitched 5 1/3 innings still, and just allowing 4 hits and striking out 5 Majors batters.
Takaki Iguchi, the book is not closed. The runners are on second and third here for the Majors. Those are both Iguchi's responsibility. 3 2/3 up to this point. 3 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Both of those runs, as mentioned, would be charged to Iguchi should they score, with Tristan Osika coming to the plate against his former teammate, Corbin Peters. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch from Peters. Misses. Ball 1.
This is a situation for Hamilton where they bring in kind of a high leverage reliever. They do not want this to get to worse than 3.
Only faking a break over at third base. Here's the 1-0. Osika in the air, right field, moving back on it. Debenning still tracking, and he's got it to end the inning. But the Majors strike for a pair in the 4th inning. They lead it 3-0. After 4, you're watching the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs on Majors TV and Cable 14.
Welcome to Labatt Park in London, Ontario, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Now through Labor Day, book your guided tour and walk the same field as Ty Cobb, Fergie Jenkins, Honus Wagner, and some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts from over the years inside the original 1940 clubhouse. Experience baseball history in London, Ontario. Book your guided tour at labattparktours.ca.
Welcome back here inside Labatt Memorial Park in downtown London here on Majors TV, and welcoming those as well who are tuning in on Cable 14 in Hamilton. We move along to the 5th inning here at the ballpark. Game 1 of this best-of-5 quarterfinals. And London puts up 2 more runs in the bottom half of the 4th inning. A 3-0 lead for the home club here. As you get a look at Victor Payano back on the hill taking his warm-up pitches. Staked to a lead here, and now adding on to it the Majors to give him a 3-run lead. Quick check out of town sees the Guelph Royals leading 7-0 over the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers in Guelph. And then the Welland Jackfish in Kitchener with a 9-1 lead over the Panthers. That is game 2 of that series, game 1 in Guelph. Payano's first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Payano coming into this 5th inning of work has allowed 3 hits to Cardinal batters. And make it 4 as that one's ripped up the middle into center field. Brendan Daly is aboard with a leadoff base hit for the Cardinals as that one smoked back up the middle. Daly moves to 1 for 2 on the evening. And now Stephen Whalen will be the batter for the Cardinals. He is 0 for 1 tonight. Curveball starts the at-bat with a called strike 1. Action continued down in the Hamilton bullpen. No signs of action in the majors for Victor Payano. Just at 60 pitches and has been throwing well so far. That's another curveball for a strike. And it is 0-2. Daly not a very big lead over at first base. Payano looks, and now he's going to throw over. Go back to that, A move, B move conversation we had about Iguchi, the Cardinals starter. That not the quickest move from Payano. Just over to let Daly know that he's thinking about him. Here's the 0-2. Chopped over to third base. Plaz the throw to 2 in time. Back to 1. It'll take Cardoso off the bag. They'll get just the 1.
Tough play there for the Majors, trying to turn 2, unable to do so. Good play by Plaz getting it over to Osika, but a good hustle there from Welland, and he's able to beat that out.
I think there was maybe a little bobble by Plaz as soon as he got it in his glove at third base, and that extra half second or so enough to slow down that double play. Squaring around to bunt now. That one's right out front of Deolio. Spins, fires to first, and it's in the dirt. That ball's going to skip and go into the seats in the first row. And everybody is going to be safe here for the Cardinals.
We'll see how they score that one, whether it's a hit and an error or simply an error that will allow Koehler Loveridge to reach. Got a pretty good bunt down. That's a tough spot because it's kind of no man's land, and Deolio was the only one who had a real shot at it. I'm glad that he took control. Spun and fired, never really got a clean look over at first base, and the result is him spiking one. Cardoso got a piece of it, and then it ended up fluttering into the crowd.
So the Cardinals will have a runner at third base for the first time tonight. And with 1 out here, they are in danger of scoring one here as this one's blasted out to right center field. That is deep enough to score the runner. Caught by Drew Lawrence. He's going to opt to throw it into the cut man. It goes over his head. Picked up at third base by Plaz. The sacrifice fly will score a run, and the Cardinals are on the board here in game 1.
Exactly what the Hamilton Cardinals need. Another example of Luis Bernardo being a veteran hitter, getting it done in a big spot. He hits that one more than deep enough out to right center field. Drew Lawrence able to track it down for the out, but plenty deep to score the run, and Hamilton on the scoreboard now after a sacrifice fly from Bernardo.
Koehler Loveridge able to move up to third, so still a scoring chance here for Hamilton. Strike 1 from Payano. They are trying to get those 2 runs scored by London in the bottom of the 4th. Back here. To the plate, and they're going to peel down, and DeCastro went around.
I thought he did too, no. I thought that's the right call from the first base umpire. Pretty aggressive check swing. He tried to hold up, but I just don't think he was able to do it, and so the result is a strike.
It puts Payano up 0-2 here. Well ahead in the count, trying to get out of this top of the 5th. Had the whole right side of the infield thinking they were out of the inning.
That one just came in a little bit high, I think, Noah. It was a pretty good pitch there from Victor Payano. From left to right, I thought it had the strike zone, but because of how high it came in on DeCastro, it's a ball.
Took a bit off the curveball as well, it looked like. So came in higher than it was caught by Deolio. 1-2 again here from the Majors lefty starter, and that ball's going to get away up the third base line and in to score. Payano put the tag down on him. He didn't even have the ball close to him. But the Cardinals are back within 1.
That is a really terrific read by Koehler Loveridge over at third base. He saw very quickly that the ball was going to get far enough away from Deolio that he wasn't going to get on it fast enough. Loveridge knows his speed. He knows he's a very quick guy standing over at third base. Read that ball in the dirt extremely well and is able to pick up the 90 feet to score the second Hamilton run.
It adds to the toughness of that play for Deolio as well, and based on where that ball went. Up the third base line, he's got to run to it and then basically throw it behind him.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch from Payano. On the ground, third base, and it gets under the glove of Plaz. A 2-out error will put a Hamilton Cardinal runner aboard.
This inning for Victor Payano has gone on a lot longer than I think he hoped it would. First, there was that initial bobble on the attempted double play ball for the Majors where they weren't able to roll two because of it. And then later on, the error from Eduardo Deolio behind the plate, throwing one in the dirt that got away. And that was followed now by the Victor Plaz error here. So 69 pitches for Victor Payano in this ball game. Only 12 in this inning, but it just feels like he could have gotten out of it a lot sooner than what he has so far.
Fastball on the outer edge, and he gets ahead 0-1 here on Tyler Duncan. Payano here. 2 runs across for the Cardinals on a pair of errors so far. Good pitch to throw on for Deolio, and safe. DeCastro swam around the tag. Krasminski pleading his case out at second base.
Krasminski adamant he got him. It was a swim move from DeCastro. We happened to get a pretty good look at it, I believe, on our Majors TV feed. Oh, we got a great look at it here. Look at this. Just watching the replay up here in the booth. I mean, it was extraordinarily close. And DeCastro, I think he got around it personally, but a close play nonetheless.
He had the effort on the swim move and gets rewarded a stolen base on a great throw down from Deolio. Swing and a miss by Duncan. Majors not out of this inning yet. Another runner in scoring position here. And the dangerous bat of Duncan, who's 1 for 2 tonight. At the dish, but in a 1-2 hole.
Worth mentioning, that's the tying run, standing over in scoring position now.
One and two delivery. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. They'll have to complete the putout to retire the side here in the top of the 5th inning. The Cardinals get 2 back, and we are back to a 1-run ball game as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Well, it took a few more pitches than I think Victor Payano would have hoped, but eventually he does get out of this inning with the lead intact, though the Majors, they allowed 2 what felt like were preventable runs in that inning, and that's the word I'm going to choose to use there because there were a couple of plays, small ones, and then there were obviously the blatant errors that ended up costing them a couple of runs in that inning, but they would have liked to have been out of it sooner as we are getting a pitching change on the mound. I believe Stephen Hospital coming into this game.
It is going to be a pitching change. Brought to you by Throw London.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Back here on Majors TV and Cable 14 in Hamilton as we have a pitching change into the ball game, Dylan. And you mentioned there was a job for Corbin Peters. He got that job, and he completed the assignment.
I think odds are, no, I was telling you during our break, Corbin Peters will probably start either tomorrow or Sunday's game. So they're trying to rest Corbin Peters and make sure he does not use up too many bullets in this contest. So it'll be Stephen Hospital taking over for the Hamilton Cardinals here. Hospital worked recently against the Majors. That was actually his last outing on August 13th, pitched a clean inning, allowed 1 hit, struck out a batter, walked a batter. Overall this season, 7 games, 1 start, 10 1/3 innings, just qualified for the playoffs. 0-1 record, 5.22 earned run average, 9 strikeouts, 5 walks for Stephen Hospital.
Well, the 2 runs in the top half of the inning for Hamilton has made this ball game a close one. Again, not that the 3 runs were out of reach by any means, but it is back to where it was an inning ago. A 1-run ball game is now, this one is, I believe, fouled off, and Bernardo is in some pain. I think that might have got him above the shin pads.
Yeah, they're calling for a trainer here. Luis Bernardo down in a heap on the bunt attempt from Gibson Krasminski there. It's a tough play for a catcher because you immediately pop up, and the bunt fouled right off of Bernardo. He pops up to try to field it, and because of that, it gets him in an awkward spot that it may not have had he stayed in the crouch.
Well, the bunt attempt came, the pitch was a little bit up in the zone. So you're right, he popped up a little bit. As a catcher, when you pop up like that, you kind of open yourself up a little bit as opposed to when you're down in the crouch. You've got all the protection there. But he's still down on that infield grass, and you hope for the sake of the Cardinals and really for the sake of this series that Bernardo is okay. And that he is just taking an extra second here. Everybody on the infield now for the Cardinals checking in on their starting catcher, who is now up under a little bit of help. And I think just needed some time there, Dylan.
Yeah, Bernardo seems like he's going to stay in this ball game, still taking another couple of moments to regroup. Krasminski tried to lay that one down, bunted it backwards, and it ends up getting Bernardo. But looks like he's going to try to stick it out, I think.
There's some laughs on the infield there, Dylan. That tells me it likely got him below the belt.
That's what I was thinking too. I didn't want to be the one to say it, Noah, but that's where my mind went right away.
We have to bring the factual information. And I wonder, they're going to give Bernardo a chance here to regroup. I was wondering if they were going to give him any warm-up pitches, and I think that's what they're going to do here.
Yeah.
As he is still trying to gather himself behind the dish.
It's not fun. I was a catcher as well. Certainly not nearly as high a level as Luis Bernardo, but it's not a pleasant experience back there when something like that happens. So Bernardo going to be given all the time he needs to regroup.
Well, a little stoppage in play here as we appear to be back ready for action. And Krasminski steps back into the left-hand batter's box, ready for the second pitch here of the inning. Hospital comes ready and set on the hill with a strike to put him up 0-2.
Looked like an off-speed there from Stephen Hospital on the 0-1 pitch. Nice job just catching the outside part of the plate.
Big leg kick delivery. This one chopped out to shortstop. DeCastro right on the money to first base to retire Krasminski.
We've seen Raquel DeCastro make quite a few nice plays over at shortstop for the Hamilton Cardinals. Another example of one right there. Had a little bit of trouble getting it out of his glove, it seemed, but gets the throw to first.
Number 6, Drew Lawrence.
So Drew Lawrence will be the second man to face Stephen Hospital here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Drew 0 for 2 tonight so far. But his first chance at a different look on the hill. It's a fastball across the outside edge for strike one. Ronnie delivers. This one hit the other way. Over to second base, and Loveridge will throw out Drew Lawrence. 2 quick outs here for Stephen Hospital and the Cardinals in the 5th.
Routine ground ball over there towards second base. Keeler Loveridge makes the play, throws it on over to Rempel for an easy second out. Hospital cruising along so far against the Majors. He's got good stuff, good velocity. He's not an easy opponent by any stretch of the imagination. And he's proving to be a tough task for the top of the Majors order here so far.
Well, Eduardo Deolio ready to swing again here for London, 0 for 2. Good fastball just off the plate for ball 1. 3 London hits so far through 4 2/3 innings. 2 of them off the bat of Victor Plaz. Byron Reichstein has 1. On the ground up the middle. And gets through. DeCastro had to reach, and Deolio is aboard.
We'll see whether that one's ruled an error or a base hit there for Eduardo Deolio. Appears to be ruled a hit there for the Majors catcher. Chopped that one up the middle. It was a tough play for Kelvin DeCastro. Had a long way to run to make it, and the ball just got under his glove.
He had to run right up the middle, and he had to pick that one up. First try and get it away in a hurry to get Deolio. So Caden Cardoso. Time called at the plate. Hospital delivers with a fastball that misses the inside corner.
Cardoso going to get significantly less breaking balls, I would assume, here against Hospital than what he got from Takaki Iguchi earlier on in the ball game. Rolled over on a couple of those breaking balls for groundouts.
Well, you can't get more as he fouls off that fastball. First 2 at-bats for Caden Cardoso tonight. He faced Takaki Iguchi, who threw him, 8 pitches? And I think 7 of those, the first 7 were curveballs.
And then he came back with another off-speed, just wasn't a curve, correct? If
it wasn't a fastball. Yeah, it wasn't a fastball. He threw something else. I think it might have been some sort of splitter or something. It has a little bit less than his normal fastball. This one's off the plate. 2-1 to Cardoso.
Not quite the legendary Paul Skeens splinker, right? The hard splitter.
When you're that good, you can start making up your own pitches. Deolio at first, not a big lead. 2-1. Cardoso waited on it, and it was there for a strike.
Cardoso, I think, would have liked if that was called a ball on the outside part of the plate. Looked to be pretty close to missing the strike zone, but Hospital gets the benefit of the doubt from the home plate umpire.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to the London Majors first baseman. Strike 3 on the inner corner. Cardoso thought it was in. It's a strikeout for Stephen Hospital, and the Cardinals get out of the bottom of the 5th inning without allowing a run. It is a 3-2 ball game as we head to the 6th inning here in London. You're watching the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs on Majors TV and Cable 14.
I think this team
has the potential to win another championship.
All the boys have talked about it in the clubhouse, getting that three-peat, you know.
You guys can win. You guys can win.
Back inside Labatt Memorial Park here as we move along to the 6th inning. Thank you for joining us here wherever you are watching from here on this Friday night. Some youngsters in attendance from the Tillsonburg Otters, it looks like, Dylan.
Yes. Public address announcer Eric Collins, a big Tillsonburg Otters supporter. And,
big Otters guy. Yeah, big
member
Otters
of the
guy.
community. So lots of Tillsonburg Otters in attendance here tonight.
Kids enjoying a pretty good ball game so far, 3-2 as we move into the 6th inning here at Labatt Memorial Park. Cardinals got 2 runs back in the top of the 5th and have made this a 1-run ball game once more. Victor Payano, who's back out to the hill here for the Majors, Dylan, has been working very well, and he's been efficient so far in this game.
73 pitches through 5 innings. That's not a bad stretch whatsoever for Victor Payano up to this point of the ball game, trying to keep that pitch count right around there as he works into the 6th.
There's only movement down in the Majors bullpen. Nobody has thrown, nobody has stretched yet, so we'll keep you updated on that as this game moves along. This one fouled down the right field line and out of play, a couple of rows deep into the seats.
Dave Benning 0 for 2 against Victor Payano so far today, a flyout and a strikeout up to this point. No, we're getting an update from Ann Chamberlain in the chat that the lights have gone out at Jack Couch Park in Kitchener.
I was just looking at that as well. Things not going the Panthers' way. Their bats have been dark so far tonight, and now the lights go out, and they look like 13-1 Welland lead as they work to get the power restored at Jack Couch Park. 2 balls and 2 strikes here now to Dennis DeBanning, leading off the inning for the Cardinals. Payano ready. And upstairs with the fastball. Count is full.
Payano's losing a little bit of zip on that fastball from what we saw at the beginning of this ball game, but still coming with it pretty well. His breaking stuff was sharp to begin the contest as well. He's not using it quite as much. Maybe we see him go to it here on 3-2 if he's feeling really confident, but I'd expect a fastball here if I'm DeBenning.
The pitch in the air right field. This ball is going to be playable for Byron Reichstein, who just inside the line will make the catch.
Not hit overly hard there off the bat of Dennis DeBanning. Payano did come with the fastball, hit towards the right field line, and Byron plenty of time to get into that one and make the grab.
So 1 gone now for Payano in the inning. Dylan, we got our phones up here looking at the Kitchener Panthers game, and the way the lights went out is comical. Yeah. And thank goodness it wasn't in the middle of a pitch or anything like that and would cause any safety concerns, but it looks like they're still working to get that figured out. Here's a pitch that's inside for strike one. A little delay on that call from the home plate umpire, but Payano gets ahead 0-1.
Yeah, I think Rempel thought that was inside, and I kind of agree with him, but he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt on that call. 1 for 2 today is Tanner Rempel.
Curveball, strike 2. Dropped it right in there for Payano, and he's way ahead in the count.
That's a beauty there from Victor Payano. A good curveball that just floats into the strike zone, catches the inside part of the plate.
Payano 0-2 here. Swing and a miss. That is strikeout number 10 for Victor Payano. He's into the double digits here in game 1, and there's 2 gone.
Another curveball from Victor Payano. Had worked on the previous pitch, so he figured why not come with it again. A good one from the Majors left-hander. You mentioned it, 10 strikeouts. Gets the foul tip, swing and miss there from Rempel. Payano working really efficiently, really effectively up to this point. He's been able to use his full repertoire of pitches successfully so far.
So 2 outs here as Payano delivers a first pitch strike. Andrew Johnston 0 for 2.
Johnston 2 strikeouts up to this point in his 2 at-bats.
Curveball swung right through it, and he is ahead 0-2.
Payano's got a good feel for that curveball right now. Mentioned that he hadn't used it much against Dave Banning and then came back with it frequently against Rempel and Johnston so far.
To the plate. Swing and a miss. 11 strikeouts for Victor Payano. And he is through 6 innings here in game 1.
All those nice curveballs from the Majors left-hander, and he comes back with the heat. A hard fastball there to get Johnston swinging. Payano is just working so well at the moment for the Majors.
71.7% strikes so far tonight. He has been filling up the zone. He has been challenging hitters, and he has been rewarded with 11 punch-outs.
You're happy if the pitcher is in the mid-60s, high 60s, and to be over 70% is quite the feat for Victor Payano, filling up the strike zone, as you mentioned.
So Victor Payano is having himself a pretty good night here at the ballpark. The London Majors enjoying a 3-2 lead, and we'll send it down to the third member of our crew, who is by the Majors dugout, Justin Koehler.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a fun game to watch so far, and we talked about the pitching back in the 3rd inning, but who am I kidding? Of course, we have to talk about some of the hitting categories, and when you look at some of the numbers, there's still a lot of similarities when you compare the 2 teams side by side. Starting right off with batting average. Across the whole season, London batted .269 throughout the whole year compared to Hamilton's .262, just a difference of 7 points between the 2 teams. Runs scored, London had 242, Hamilton had 230, just a difference of 12 between the 2. But it's after that some of the differences really start to come to light, particularly on how the 2 teams came by those points, with London relying more on the long ball throughout the whole season with 35 home runs collectively, and Hamilton relying more on a small ball strategy with just 22 collectively. So we'll see which strategy comes out on top in this game. No one is better than the other. In fact, the greatest teams find a way to adapt both styles, but we'll see which comes out tonight and throughout the series as a whole. Let's send it back up to Noah and Dylan in the Game Day London press box. And gentlemen, you having fun up there?
We do nothing but have fun, Justin. That is our job up here.
Always have fun. That's job number 1. Job number 2 is calling a ball game. Job number 1 is just fun with pals up here in the press box.
If we're not having fun, then we are doing something wrong. And I mean fun for ourselves up here. We enjoy ourselves.
Yes, we do. We have a good time, Noah. We've had a good time since 2019.
We have. We've had a lot of good moments up here in the broadcast booth. Majors up 3-2 here as we move to the bottom of inning number 6, as Starling Joseph will lead things off against Stephen Hospital, who continues into his 2nd inning of work. And a swing and a miss from Starr. He falls into an 0-1 hole.
Joseph worked a pretty big walk in his last time up at the plate. Stole a base, got around to 3rd, ended up scoring the 2nd Majors run with 2 out against Takaki Iguchi in the 3rd.
Strike 2 on the outer edge. Fastball looked like it had some good movement back towards the plate.
Just a correction there. That was in the 4th inning that Joseph drew that walk, but a good fastball like you mentioned. Noah, Hospital, good movement on that pitch, catching the outside part.
2-strike count here to the Majors left fielder. just off the plate. That one was an inch, maybe, more outside than the previous pitch, but it was enough to push it for ball one.
Yeah, certainly did not miss by very much, but Starling Joseph with a good take, laying off that one.
Sign from Bernardo, Hospital ready. Here's a big leg kick, delivers to the plate with strike 3. One gone to begin the bottom half of this 6th inning on a strikeout for Stephen Hospital.
Joseph took quite a few close pitches in that at-bat. That one not as close, a pretty obvious strike from the right-handed arm out there, Stephen Hospital. Joseph goes down looking for the first out. Hospital's done a good job since he's come into this ball game. Has kept the Majors guessing. 2 strikeouts, both of them looking up to this point.
So Byron Reichstein, he had a single his last time around, scored a run for the Majors. Took ball one outside. Swings through that one and got between the legs of Bernardo, back to the backstop. Count evens up at 1-1.
Good action on that off-speed pitch there from Stephen Hospital. Lots of movement on it. Byron just came up empty on the swing.
The 1-1 look. Swings again. Similar pitch to the last one, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, very similar pitch to the last offering there from Hospital. Lots of movement on it, an off-speed pitch, and Byron swings right over the top of it again.
Byron rips one over to second base. A couple of hops for Keeler Loveridge, and he will retire Reichstein on the throw to first.
That's baseball, right, Noah? Byron doesn't get a lot of one in his last at-bat, gets an RBI single, and then hits that one on the absolute screws. A scorcher to second base, and right there is Keeler Loveridge to make the out.
So with 2 outs, that'll bring the designated hitter, Cleveland Brownlee, to the plate, and Brownlee 0 for 1. Has been aboard once today, and looking to try and get something going with 2 outs for London.
Cleveland worked a pretty good walk at his last trip as well to prolong that inning. He would have come around to score on the Victor Plaz double had it not bounced over the fence, but because it did, Brownlee got held up at third and could not score. That inning was stranded.
Brownlee has walked so far tonight, as you mentioned, one of 3 Majors walks on the evening. Victor Payano has walked just 1 Hamilton batter through 6 innings of work. Swings through that breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Well, Hospital came with a fastball up and in on the first pitch that Brownlee did not take a nice hack at, and then he goes with a curveball or a breaking pitch of some sort on the outside part of the plate. Cleveland comes up empty on that swing, so he's got all of his options open here on 0-2.
In the dirt, Cleve holds off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks like the lights are back on in Kitchener, Dylan. No need to worry.
Thank you for shedding a little bit of light on that subject.
All right, you're done. Strikeout to Brownlee as Hospital gets through the bottom of the 6th inning of work. Majors go quietly, but they lead 3-2 here on Majors TV and Cable 14.
Welcome to Labatt Park in London, Ontario, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Now through Labor Day, book your guided tour and walk the same field as Ty Cobb, Fergie Jenkins, Honus Wagner, and some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts from over the years inside the original 1940 clubhouse. Experience baseball history in London, Ontario. Book your guided tour at labattparktours.ca.
welcome back to Majors TV's coverage of Game 1 of the first round of the IBL playoffs. Can you see me up here waving from the Game Day London broadcast booth? I don't know. I'm up there. I'm waving. We're having a good time here at Labatt Memorial Park. Let's see. Can you see me now? There we go. There's my arm. We've got me. Here we are. We're having a great time up here. Noah is not in the press box right now. A little bit of inside baseball here. 7th inning, Majors leading by a score of 3-2. Glad to have you with us wherever you're watching from, here on Majors TV or Cable 14. It's a perfect night for baseball at the Forks of the Thames. We're thrilled to have you. Victor Payano has cruised along up to this point, looking to continue his success in this ball game. He is into double digits with the strikeouts, 11 punch-outs through 6 innings. And now he will have to face 7, 8, and 9 in the Hamilton Cardinals order. Brennan Daly, Stephen Whalen, and Keeler Loveridge for Hamilton in the top of the 7th. Cardinals got a pair of runs earlier in the ball game, back in the top of the 5th. A couple of errors in that inning for the Majors. Nothing before, nothing since. Payano's pitch count now up at 85 pitches. You'd expect the Majors will want to keep him right around the 100 mark so he can go later in the series if he is needed. First pitch breaking ball for strike 1. I don't think that would mean an Owen Boone-like performance in Game 2 or Game 3, but potentially if Game 4 or Game 5 are needed, Payano would be a guy the Majors look to call upon. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, that's there for a strike. Another curveball, and it is 0-2. Oh, 2 count here to Daly, who's 1 for 2 on the evening. A strikeout and a single. Payano with 11 punch-outs already. Here's the 0-2. In the dirt, no bite from Daly. It's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Brandon Daly. Cardinals 5 hits in the ball game. Majors with 4. A low-scoring affair between London and Hamilton. Lefty ready. Here's the delivery. Just misses, not by much, and it's 2-2. Very close offering on the outside part of the plate from Victor Payano. Did not get the call from the home plate umpire. Two to Daly, trying to work his way back after falling behind 0-2 in the count. Payano kicks and deals. Strike 3 called. Make it 12 in the ball game for Victor Payano as he freezes Brendan Daly with the curveball.
Sometimes, Dylan, when you're on, and Payano is looking awfully good so far tonight. His 12th, making a dozen strikeouts for him on the evening.
So 1 gone. That'll bring up Stephen Whalen, who is 0 for 2 today. Payano has been dominant. Whalen is yet to strike out. Has grounded out twice. Once into a fielder's choice. He is the only hitter yet to strike out for the Cardinals, as that one's cut on and missed, 0-1.
Payano has just been mowing down Cardinal hitters all night long, and credit to Whalen, who's been able to, at least so far tonight, put a couple of balls in play.
Here's the 0-1 home. Checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the third base umpire. It's 0-2 now.
Went up the ladder with that pitch, and Whalen just couldn't hold. He tried to check, just went around.
0-2 count, 1 out. Payano looks in for the sign, will come set on the mound. Here's the pitch. Just misses. 1-2.
Just. Not by much at all. But enough that Whalen was able to take it and earn himself another pitch here.
1-2 from Payano. Hit on the ground towards second base, hit pretty hard. It's gobbled up there by Osika. Throw to first in time, and there's 2 gone.
Well, Whalen able to stay out of the strikeout column again as he puts this one in play, but wasn't hit overly hard over to second base. Osika took that one fairly easily, and there's 2 gone.
So 2 out in the top of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Keehler Loveridge. Loveridge laid down a bunt single, got around to third base on an error, and scored on a wild pitch. An eventful last trip around the bases for Keehler Loveridge. Here's the pitch from Victor Payano. It's there for strike 1.
Pitch count for Payano eking up there. It is now 95 pitches.
No real throwing in the Majors bullpen. A couple of guys getting loose. Here's the 0-1, cut on and missed. 0-2.
Payano's got, he's stretched out. He can go probably another inning after this in terms of his pitch count. He's still being effective.
0-2 home. Fouled off of the plate, and we'll try again on 0-2.
A little bit of a pause after this one. Payano, an extra couple of seconds on the hill to gather himself.
Here's the 0-2 once more. Checked his swing. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire, and the count now 1-2.
First real sign of action down in the Majors bullpen now is looks like Braden Farrington begins to throw.
One, two out. Payano trying to get out of the top of the 7th inning here. The offering from the lefty. On the ground towards second base. Osika to his right. On the run throw to first. Cardoso, the scoop. They got him. What a play on both ends. Osika to Cardoso, and Payano's through 7 innings with the lead.
What a play over on that right side. Osika, he had all his momentum, taking him up the middle, and had to contort his body to get that throw over to one, and he does so with Cardoso finishing off his end of the bargain. The Majors defense gets them out of the top of the 7th, and Victor Payano is through 7 innings here on 99 pitches. Braden Farrington is stopped for now. I don't know if we'll see Payano go back out for another inning of work.
It'll be the top of the order if he does. Let's take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard here. Bottom of the 7th inning in Guelph. The Royals continuing to dominate. It is 10-0 for Guelph right now. In Kitchener, where they just got the lights back on, they're in the top of the 7th. Welland up 13-1. So a pair of blowouts in the IBL. This one, the only close game on the docket, and it's been great so far at stretch time as we get a pitching change for the Hamilton Cardinals here. Noah, brought to you by Throw London, London's original knife throwing. We'll take a quick break and be right back. You're watching the Inter-County Baseball League on MajorsTV and Cable 14.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Big Will. I'm from Throw London. I'm the owner of Throw London and the expert of London, Ontario for axe throwing. Come on down and visit us with friends, family, or co-workers. We've got axes, we've got knives, we've got shovels, we have darts, and as a matter of fact, you can get a cold beverage while you're here throwing. So we'd love to have you come down. Call us, book your appointment today.
Back here on MajorsTV, we'd like to thank our food sponsor, Through Thick and Thin Pizza, as well. We're told Justin from Through Thick and Thin, it's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Justin. Thank you to Through Thick and Thin for providing us with great meals all year long. As I teased before the break, Chris Bowato into the ball game for the Hamilton Cardinals, closing the book on Stephen Hospital. 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts for Hospital.
Chris Bowato into the game here for Hamilton so far this season. Now, this is just his numbers for the Cardinals. 6 2/3 innings pitched with a 1.35 ERA over 4 games. So, can be really good out of the bullpen. They're going to want him to keep this game at 3-2.
Bowato began the season for the Welland Jackfish, was a longtime member of the Jackfish, and he will face Victor Plaz here, who was a tough out for Iguchi and the Cardinals. Plaz 2 for 2 coming into this trip. This season against Boato is 1 for 1. He squares around to bunt. After the day he's had, he's bunting, and it's 0-1.
Well, that's how you throw off the defense. Here's the guy in the Majors lineup. They have 4 hits. He's got 2 of them, and he's just absolutely crushed both balls that he's hit today.
One out of the park to left field, one a one-hopper over the fence in left center. Boato looks in for the sign, into the windup. Here's the offering. Misses. 1-1.
Part of the lineup here for the Majors that has had some success. Bottom of the order with Plaz, obviously 2 hits. Osika doesn't have a hit today, but he's had some at-bats where he's looked fairly comfortable. He'll look to turn it over to the top of the order. It's Plaz first, though.
1-2 count here to Victor Plaz. Boato trying to set him down for the first time tonight. Left-hander into the windup. Here's the offering. Plaz gets that one off the end of the bat. It'll be a foul ball, and we'll try again on 1-2.
Majors being out-hit in this contest. 5 hits for Hamilton, 4 hits for the Majors. But for London, one of their hits left the yard, and the other one was a screaming double that came close to. Both driving in runs.
Here's the 1-2 to Plaz. Up and away, 2-2.
Remember when you're thinking about pitching changes here as well, that the first 3 games of the series, tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, 3 games in 3 days.
Plaz fouls that one off, so we'll try again on 2-2. And that's all the more reason for Majors manager Rup Chanat to leave Payano in as long as he's effective and as long as he's able to throw, because he knows he might need his bullpen arms a little bit more tomorrow or Sunday.
Well, exactly. And for Payano, you're throwing him here on Friday night, and at this point, like I said, 99 pitches. If he goes back out there for the 8th, he's probably going to finish somewhere in the 110, 115 range, you would like to think.
2-2. Plaz fouls this one off. A good spoil there, and we'll try again on 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And at that point, he's going to need full rest before he's ready to throw again, which would probably line him up for a Wednesday start if you get there. And if it doesn't go to 5 games in this series, he's ready for game 1 of the next series if the Majors do get there. That's how you kind of have to line these things up. It's not always first guy up is best guy up. You do have to think about the days after.
On the ground up the middle, tough play. It'll get through. Victor Plaz with his 3rd hit of the ball game. 3 for 3 so far, and he's aboard to start the 7th.
Well, Victor Plaz has been hitting the ball and seeing the ball well all afternoon long, and he continues to swing the bat well with that hit. His 3rd hit of the ball game now, and just checking the stats quickly here. One of his better games so far this season. Has had a couple of 4-hit games as well, but just hitting the ball well, seeing the ball well, and that one, not his hardest hit ball of the evening, Dylan, by far, but found the hole up the middle.
So Plaz reaches first base, and that'll bring up Tristan Osika. No, a pinch hitter for Tristan Osika. Brad Verhoeven into the ball game here for London. Osika had been 0 for 2 up to this point. So Verhoeven takes over in the bottom of the 7th.
It was 0 for 2 with a strikeout, so they elect to give Brad Verhoeven a chance to swing the bat here.
Here's the offering. Verhoeven squares around to bunt, gets it down. Boato off the mound will spin and throw to first in time. So the pinch hit sacrifice bunt for Brad Verhoeven works successfully. And there's one gone with the runner over at second.
Well, a great job by Verhoeven off the bench. Had a job and did it successfully. Gets the sacrifice down. And now it's to the top of the Majors order with a runner in scoring position.
Gibson Krasminski into the batter's box. Good chance to drive home a run. Top of the Majors order here, Krasminski and Lawrence. Plaza in scoring position with 1 out. Lefty ready, Boato on the mound. Here's the offering. Fouled straight back, 0-1. There's action in the Majors bullpen, but that's just Ty Mosher getting loose. You'd expect him to take over for Osika defensively. It's not a pitching warm-up. No, in the 8th inning. I expect Payano to be back out there. Plaza over at second. 0-1 the count here to Krasminski. Here's the offering. Fouled off 0-2.
London's bats have been fairly quiet tonight if you take Victor Plaza out of the equation, who's got 3 of the 5 hits. Eduardo Deolio's got one. Byron Reichstein has one.
0-2 home from Boato. Popped up. Foul territory. Chasing after it, Rempel. He'll give it a look, and it's out of play. And neither of those hits, the one from Reichstein, the one from Deolio, have been hit very hard.
No. It was 2 hard hits of the 5 for the Majors. And those were the first 2 of Victor Plaza's 3 hits.
0-2 count, 1 out here to Gibson Krasminski. Boato trying to pick up a big second out with a runner over in scoring position. Plaza the lead off of second. Boato sets. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Boato gets a strikeout of Krasminski there, and there's 2 gone now in the 7th.
Majors top of the order here, still looking to try and break through. We mentioned no hits for Krasminski or Lawrence in the 1-2 spots. Eduardo Deolio's hit wasn't hit overly hard. They got the runner where they wanted him in scoring position with 1 out. Now they're looking for the hit.
So 2 out, Drew Lawrence at the plate, facing Boato for the first time this year. The left-hander looks in and sets. Here's the pitch. Lawrence waves at that one, gets a piece, but it's held onto by Bernardo, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 home. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
In a hole here is Lawrence trying to find any way he can to get back from this 0-2 count now.
0-2, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Boato gets out of it. And we head to the 8th inning. Majors still leading 3-2. You're watching the Intercounty Baseball League playoffs on Majors TV and Cable 14.
Beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home.
Joseph crushes one.
Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and the athletes. Whether it's in the rink with the Knights or on the field with the Majors, Game Day London has you covered from the start. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com, a proud sponsor of Majors TV.
Back here on Majors TV, get a look at Tyler Gillies loosening up in the London Majors bullpen. Victor Payano back out there, though, for this 8th inning on a roll.
He is at 99 pitches as he works into the 8th inning. Previous high this season in terms of innings pitched has been 7. Did it a couple of times, once against Brantford, once against the Guelph Royals. He is also up to 12 strikeouts now, Dylan. That is a season high for Victor Payano. 3rd time in double digits, but first time reaching 12 strikeouts in a ball game. And he's got what could be another inning to work here.
His season high in pitch count came on July 16th against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers through 106 pitches across 5 innings, actually. So been much more efficient here tonight as he enters the 8th. He'll face the top of the Cardinals order. Ty Mosher over at second base for the Majors, taking over for Verhoeven, who pinch hit for Plaz. Pitch number 100, a beautiful breaking ball from Payano for strike 1.
And sorry, I think it was Osika he pinch hit for.
Yes, Verhoeven pinch hit for Osika, excuse me.
Plaz still in over at third base for the Majors.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Good catch there, Noah.
Payano's not wasting any time, eh?
Absolutely not. 0-2 on Bernardo here. Looking to get a big first out here in the 8th. Home from Payano. Bernardo, hard hit ball right field, right at Byron Reichstein. There's one gone.
Byron moved in a step there and actually took that step back because he realized that one was coming right at him in right field. And Payano takes just 3 pitches to get the first down here of the 8th inning. Officially making it his longest start of the season at 7 1/3 now.
So one gone at 102 pitches. Raquelbin DeCastro stepping into the batter's box. Here's the first pitch, to DeCastro, 0-1. Spoken into existence, let's say,
We've been doing it all night long, Dylan. Why not let it continue?
Home. 0-2 gets the chase.
He is just dialed in. He got off to a really good start in terms of his strike percentage, Dylan. And normally you kind of hit a plateau. It just keeps going up. 76 of 104 pitches have been strikes.
0-2 home in the dirt, no chase. It's 1-2.
And I don't even want to know the number on the 0-2 counts he's been in tonight. It's got to be ridiculous.
72% strikes. Unbelievable for Victor Payano. His next offering will tie his season high in pitch count. Here's the lefties, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Make it a baker's dozen for Victor Payano. 13 strikeouts in the ball game.
Just an unbelievable start for the London Majors left-hander as he continues to roll through the Hamilton lineup with strikeout number 13.
Tyler Duncan into the batter's box now. Got the first hit for the Cardinals in this ball game back in the first inning. 1 for 3 overall on the day.
2 strikeouts for him so far.
That one's there for a strike as that sets his new season high in pitches at 107.
Hard to believe he hasn't really lost any movement on his pitches or a whole lot of velocity on the fastball.
The 0-1 from the lefty. Fouled off, 0-2. Count, 2 out. Payano trying to get through 8 strong innings here. Payano sets. Kicks and deals. Upstairs, 1-2.
Good location there. And Payano, extra breath on the mound there. Ready for pitch number 110.
The 1-2 home. That one misses in the dirt, 2-2.
Rup is up near the Majors dugout, just pacing Dylan.
2-2 count. Payano at 110 pitches. Gillies continuing to loosen in the Majors bullpen. Duncan, a tough guy to strike out in the batter's box. Payano's got him twice tonight. Here's the 2-2. Oh, just off the plate, and the count runs full.
Payano was looking for that one. Just about every fan here in London was looking for that one, and it just missed off the outside edge.
Full count, 2 out. Top of the 8th inning here. Tyler Duncan at the plate. Victor Payano on the mound. You couldn't ask for a better matchup in a big spot. Payano sets. The 3-2 delivery. Breaking ball, called strike 3. 14 strikeouts for Victor Payano. Pounding his chest. He's been on it in game 1.
Well, he has delivered the best start of the season for the London Majors, without a doubt. 14 strikeouts for Victor Payano, who, I don't want to read too much into it, got a high five, but not a handshake just yet from Rup Chanat.
That is, I will tell you, that's reading too much into it. No, if we're trying to figure out the hand interaction that was had there, we might be reading a little bit too much into it. But it wasn't a handshake. You're right. That's an important distinction.
You say I'm reading too much into it. That is like the number one distinction in terms of whether or not your night is done.
Well, Chris Boato's night is done after 1 inning of relief. We've got a pitching change here for the Hamilton Cardinals, brought to you by Throw London. You're watching the Inter-County Baseball League playoffs on Majors TV and Cable 14.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Big Will. I'm from Throw London. I'm the owner of Throw London and the expert of London, Ontario for axe throwing. Come on down and visit us with friends, family, or co-workers. We've got axes, we've got knives, we've got shovels, we have darts, and as a matter of fact, you can get a cold beverage while you're here throwing. So we'd love to have you come down. Call us, book your appointment.
Welcome to Labatt Park in London, Ontario, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Now through Labor Day, book your guided tour and walk the same field as Ty Cobb, Fergie Jenkins, Honus Wagner, and some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts from over the years inside the original 1940 clubhouse. Experience baseball history in London, Ontario. Book your guided tour at labattparktours.ca.
New arm into the ball game. Connor Corey taking over for the Hamilton Cardinals, which will close the book on Chris Bowato. An inning of work, allowed 1 hit, no runs, 2 strikeouts for Bowato in his frame of action.
Connor Corey in 14 games for the Cardinals this summer has thrown 18 2/3 innings, has 18 strikeouts to go along with 8 walks in that time, and a 4.33 earned run average. Pitched last against the Majors on August the 11th. A 4-3 win here at Labatt Memorial Park. He pitched an inning in that game, walked a pair of runners, gave up a hit, but did not allow an earned run.
DeOlio 1 for 1 against Corey this season with an RBI single and a walk. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball. DeOlio wanted that one. Fouled straight back, 0-1.
DeOlio is 1 for 3. One of the Majors' 5 hits today. 5 hits for either side in this ball game. Despite getting into the bullpen for the Cardinals here, the Majors have not been able to really find a whole lot of offense. A 3-2 game.
Have not scored a run since Takaki Iguchi was still in this game. DeOlio chases the breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Well, that was kind of the tale of the tape on Wednesday night. The Majors scored in the bottom of the first inning, did not score again until the bottom of the 9th inning to tie the game. And then one more run in the 12th.
0-2 count here to DeOlio. Corey trying to retire him for the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Upstairs with the fastball. It's 1-2.
Hamilton bullpen quiet here as Corey works in the 8th inning.
1-2 home. DeOlio gets jammed, but gets it through the right side. Eduardo DeOlio into the hit column for the second time tonight. He's aboard to lead off the bottom of the 8th.
That right there, Dylan, is just strength from Eduardo DeOlio. He got jammed on that pitch, but was able to fly it to the right side and get aboard with his second hit of the ball game.
So Caden Cardoso into the batter's box here for the Majors. Power hitting lefty is 0 for 3 up to this point. Has a big insurance run over at first in DeOlio. Corey peeks back at the first base bag. Kicks and delivers the first pitch. Inside corner to Cardoso, 0-1.
Bernardo had to reach for that one inside, I think mostly because it missed the spot they wanted to, but it still got the call on the inside edge.
Oh, 1 count. Cardoso gets that one down the left field line. It is just foul.
That was going to be extra bases for Cardoso, but it was probably a couple of feet foul down the line. And he'll have to head back and face an 0-2 count. Whether it's Payano or the bullpen in the 9th for the Majors, they would love, and I mean love, just one extra run. Cardinals scored 2 runs in the top of the 5th inning. Those have been their only 2 runs of the evening.
Cardoso nearly got one down the line to push DeOlio at least to third base, more than likely. Faces an 0-2 count against Connor Corey. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1.
After Caden Cardoso, it is Starling Joseph on deck for London. Starling has scored a run. He walked once in the ball game.
The 1-2. Inside, Cardoso chases with first base occupied. He can't run it out, so there's one gone via the strikeout for Connor Corey.
He offered around at it. He thought it might have been the fastball coming to the inside corner low, and that's why he was going to swing, but couldn't hold up when that ball started to break. It wasn't a great pitch from Connor Corey. But hey, if it gets a chase, it does the job, and he's got the strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Starling Joseph into the batter's box to face Corey. Singing along to his new walk-up song. Joseph 0 for 2 this year against Corey with a strikeout. 0 for 2 today against the Cardinals with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
The Majors bullpen up again here. Gillies has started to throw. Not a whole lot of pace on it. Just a pitch every other pitch from on the field.
0-1 is popped in the air, foul territory. It will get out of play and make it an 0-2 count here on Starling Joseph.
Joseph going to have to work in the hole here, 0-2 after fouling that one off. Trying to avoid striking out for the second time tonight.
0-2, 1 away. DeOlio standing over at first base, not a very aggressive lead. Here's the pitch. Off the plate outside, good take by Starling, and it's 1-2. One, two, one away. Corey looks in for the sign. Peeks back at DeOlio. Here's the offering to Joseph. Hit hard down the left field line and foul towards the Majors bullpen. Heads up down there. Not sure who's warming up Gillies. I think it's Verhoeven. He just got rocked.
He was on that, though. That ball was coming for him whether he was ready or not. Yeah. And thank goodness it wasn't at the same time as the Gillies warm-up pitch.
That would have been bad. I think that's Farrington spotting. He should have done a better job.
I don't know if he was going to get over there that quick.
I don't think so. 1-2 count here to Joseph, one away. The right-hander Corey delivers. Called strike three on the outside corner. Joseph goes down looking, and there's two gone now here in the home half of the eighth.
Well, Joseph not ready for that one. Fastball and painted on the outside corner for the second strikeout of the evening for Starling Joseph and the second out of the inning.
Two gone for Byron Reichstein. Reichstein has a hit in the ball game on a bloop single. We joked last time he hit one hard and it was an out because that's just how baseball works sometimes.
His single scored a run as well for London. Has an RBI tonight.
Here's the pitch, fouled straight back by Reichstein, 0-1. Reichstein against Corey this year has a walk in one plate appearance. Long hold from the right-hander. Here's the 0-1 home. Up and away. 1-1 to Reichstein. One ball, one strike, two out. Corey trying to get the Cardinals back on the bats for their last chance in the ninth inning. Reichstein looking to add some insurance in the bottom of the eighth. Breaking ball on the ground towards second base, played by Loveridge. He'll go to first, and the inning is over. We're through 8 complete here at Labatt Park. Majors leading 3-2. We go to the ninth on Majors TV and Cable 14 as we hit a break.
Has the potential to win another championship.
All the boys have talked about it in the clubhouse, getting that three-peat, you know.
You guys can win. You guys can win.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Big Will. I'm from Throw London. I'm the owner of Throw London and the expert of London, Ontario for axe throwing. Come on down and visit us with friends, family, or co-workers. We've got axes, we've got knives, we've got shovels, we have darts, and as a matter of fact, you can get a cold beverage while you're here throwing. So we'd love to have you come down. Call us, book your appointment today.
Back here inside Labatt Memorial Park on Majors TV and Cable 14. The night is done for Victor Payano, and Dylan, what a night it was.
What a night for Victor Payano indeed, Noah. He was stellar. 8 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, only one of them earned, 1 walk, 14 strikeouts for Victor Payano through 112 pitches across those 8 innings of work, and gives way to Tyler Gillies.
So Tyler Gillies will come in for the save here in the top of the 9th inning. 6 games and 13 1/3 innings pitched since joining the Majors. Really, Dylan, not that long ago. He had to get those innings in a quick time. has 3 saves in that span.
Last time he faced the Hamilton Cardinals, came back on August 13th, went 4 innings of relief, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts.
Strike 1. And it is a 1-1 count. Gillies looking to try and close the door here in a victory for London in Game 1. Pitch to DeBenning is upstairs with the fastball, 2 balls and a strike.
Good heat on that fastball from Gillies. He's got great velocity, which makes him such a fantastic closer or late inning reliever wherever Rup Chanat wants to use him.
High leverage kind of pitcher. 2-1. Swung right through it, and it's 2-2. DeBenning awaits his 2-2 pitch as DeOlio gives the sign, and Gillies comes to the plate with a fastball upstairs. No offer from DeBenning, and the count moves to full.
Good velocity once again from Gillies. Tried to go upstairs to get DeBenning to climb the ladder, but did not bite. He's been patient in this at-bat so far.
Strike 3. Fastball by DeBenning, and Gillies has struck out the first out of the 9th.
Good heater there from Tyler Gillies. Came with a lot of velocity once more, blew it right past Dennis DeBenning. The Cardinals right fielder had no answer.
DeBenning down on strikes for the second time tonight, and now Rempel is 1 for 3. Will try to get the inning started for Hamilton. Fastball fouled back into the screen.
Gillies facing Rempel here, who's 1 for 3. A ground out, a single, and a strikeout up to this point in the ball game.
The righty delivers. Curveball in there for strike 2, and he buckled Rempel.
You come with those heaters, that great velocity that Gillies features, and then you go with a nasty curveball, slowing things right down. All it can do is freeze the hitter.
Fans here at Labatt Park trying to get behind the home team. 0-2 from Gillies. This one chopped but foul.
Went with the curveball again rather than going to the fastball once more, and Rempel able to stay on it just long enough to get a piece. Didn't get much of it, but got enough to see another pitch.
I think they were trying to see if they could get Rempel to just watch strike 3 there. In my opinion, you've set it up for the fastball again on 0-2. DeOlio sets up outside. Here's Gillies to the plate, and that one will miss up and out.
It was the fastball. Noah threw it high and away to Rempel. Didn't chase. I think Rempel was thinking along the same lines as we were up here. It was going to be a fastball, so if it wasn't close, he wasn't going to swing.
1-2 pitch. Curveball. Strike 3. 2 gone here in the 9th.
Wow. What a pitch from Tyler Gillies. Great movement on that sharp curveball and gets the chase he was looking for. 2 strikeouts to kick off the ninth for the Majors closer.
And the Majors are out away from taking Game 1.
Pinch hitter here for the Cardinals, Noah.
This is the spot of Andrew Johnston.
It is Nolan Boyle coming in for the Hamilton Cardinals here.
And for Boyle, a chance to, with 2 outs, solve Gillies here in the 9th inning, where they have had no success through the first 2 batters.
Boyle this regular season, 3 for 5 across 3 games.
That one misses. 1-0. swung through with a fastball.
So much heat on that heater from Tyler Gillies. Gets the chase right there.
Fans loud here at Labatt Park. Strike 2 from Gillies, and the Cardinals down to their final strike here in game 1.
You could hear the grunt from Gillies on that last pitch. A max effort offering from the right-hander. One strike away from giving the Majors a series lead.
Fans on their feet here at Labatt Park cheering on Gillies on a 1-2 count. Comes set, delivers. Strike 3. Game 1 goes to London.
What a pitching performance by the Majors tonight. Victor Payano gets the start, strikes out 14 across 8 strong innings. And then Tyler Gillies out of the bullpen, striking out the side. 17 strikeouts combined for the Majors.
There is 27 outs in a baseball game, and the Majors struck out 17 of them tonight. What a performance from the Majors. They take game 1 here in this quarterfinal on home turf. A slim 3-2 lead over the Cardinals will send this series to Hamilton tomorrow for game 2.
You could not have asked for a better ball game from the Majors pitchers than what they got today. What an unbelievable performance for London. Exactly what they were hoping for in game 1, perhaps a little bit more offense, but they got the offense when they needed to. It wasn't necessarily an abundance of scoring, but it was timely scoring, and the Majors get the job done.
So London with the win here, they only have to burn a couple of pitchers, and Gillies, for that matter, is probably ready to go as soon as tomorrow. He was efficient on the hill in the 9th, getting the save on 3 strikeouts for London. They win it 3-2, 6 hits for London, 5 for the Hamilton Cardinals. We are just awaiting down on field level for our Another's Player of the Game presentation. Down there's a handful of options you could probably go to on a night like today.
Yeah, lots of good candidates. Think of Victor Plaz, think of Victor Payano, a pair of Victors who had some success here tonight for the Majors. I think we're still trying to get it sorted out at the moment. We'll get that to you shortly, but what a ball game for the Majors. Another successful contest. Back-to-back, really exciting, really close wins for London, getting the victory on Wednesday against Guelph and starting the playoffs on the right foot after just 1 day off, getting the win against the Hamilton Cardinals.
We are just waiting, I believe, for a translator, because if it is who I think it is going to be our player of the game, we're going to need it.
I think we got 2 players of the game.
We might have co-winners as well. We will take things down. I believe Justin Koehler is ready now with our Another's Player of the Game. Justin?
Gentlemen, it was hard to pick just one player of the game, so we decided to go with both the victors here. Gentlemen, spectacular job today. Plaz, we're going to start with you. Great hits today, most notably that no-doubter in the 3rd inning. What was going through your head as you were running around the bases for that one?
I was just trying to make good contact. I mean, I had hitting in the A-hole. I got to see him pretty well, see how he was attacking the other guys on the team, and then kind of just base my at-bat off of that, and it paid out.
Well, it was great, and the audience was immediately off their seats as soon as the crack of the bat hit. I think everyone in the ballpark knew what had happened. And like I said, hard to pick one, so we also had to go with Victor Payano. Great performance today. 14 strikeouts in the contest. How are you feeling? How's your arm feeling in particular?
I feel good. Dile que yo estaba trabajando ahí. I feel great. Got a good communication with the catcher, the Olio, and the team. I hope the team for doing better for win today.
And lastly, for both of you, it's a big win, and it's the first game of a very important series. Just how important is it for you and the rest of the squad to get the first win here in the series?
I mean, the first game of the series was one of the most important ones, so just getting that first dub is definitely a big push, big momentum, and coming off that end of the season with that walk-off, definitely something good to keep going, pushing forward.
Yeah, 100%. And so congratulations again, both of you. Spectacular job, great win, great performances. And let's send it back up to Noah and Dylan in the Game Day London press box. Gentlemen, what a game.
Thank you, Justin, our Another's Players of the Game. the victors. Dylan helping London to the victory.
Absolutely. The victors both in name and in the game. What a performance by Victor Plaz and Victor Payano. I mean, you can't ask for much more from a starter. 8 strong innings, 1 earned run, 14 strikeouts. I mean, what a terrific performance for Victor Payano. And Victor Plaz providing pretty much all of the offense, really the entirety of the offense for the Majors. I mean, 3 hits in the ball game, drove home all 3 runs for London, and they emerged victorious here in Game 1.
You could also throw Tyler Gillies in the mix as well, who came in to close it out. As I mentioned, 17 strikeouts for London Majors pitchers today against the Hamilton Cardinals. I'd have to look it up, but that's got to be up there in terms of a record, at least in the last little bit for the Majors. Fantastic performance all around, and the Majors take a big Game 1, Dylan.
That's a huge Game 1. Obviously, you always want to start on the right foot, and you mentioned taking home field advantage away. The Hamilton Cardinals unable to do that here today. The Majors are in the driver's seat as they head to Hamilton tomorrow. It's going to be a big game, too, but taking this one here on home field, huge victory for the Majors, starting them on the right foot in this series.
So that does it for our coverage here tonight from Labatt Memorial Park. It is the London Majors who emerge victorious, 3-2, the final score here against the Hamilton Cardinals. Game 2 of this series goes tomorrow night in Hamilton at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. A reminder to our viewers here on Majors TV that game can be watched on Cable 14 in Hamilton. So if you're looking for it on YouTube, you got to go to the Cable 14 channel to watch that one. From Noah Smith, Dylan Baker, thank you for tuning in with us tonight here on Majors TV and Cable 14 in Hamilton. And we'll see you back here at Labatt Park on Sunday night for Game 3 of this series.